Alrighty. Here we go. Much excitement abound. For it is time to play some Malekith. Can I win with them? Is it even possible? My thoughts? It's gonna be a little sus. Now, he's just really expensive. So vanilla, he already costs more than Archaon. He can heal himself though with Soul Stealer. So that's pretty nice. Power of Darkness is good. Are any of these good? Decreases spell resist. The Dwarf Slayer. That's pretty interesting. This was a donation request, by the by. What does this do? Power recharge 80%. Affects all allies in range. Okay, so decreases miscast chance and gives insanity power recharge. You know, this would actually be pretty high. How high can I get my power recharge? Give me a second. Wait, take a look. Take a look, see right here. So if I get Circlet of Iron, right? He can drain reserves and give himself spell resist if he's close to a dude. But maybe Malekith can get some insane shenanigans. Malekith is my Phoenix King. All right. By the way, tournament's starting soon. Check in now before it's too late. So, with double Darkstar Cloak, Circlet of Iron, we get one magic every 3 seconds. So if I cast this, it becomes one every 2 seconds. This lasts for 18 seconds. No, it lasts 20 seconds. So I get 10 winds of magic during the cast of this. I see. I see. Interesting. So I can already just check out a Soul Stealer and just do this again. I kind of like it. There you go. Yeah, so I can basically spam Soul Stealer like crazy. I could also use Blade Storm. Use Doombolt. Malekith has access to Doombolt, right? So clearly he's super OP. Let's see. Anyways, tournament should be starting soon. I believe everyone that needs to be checked in is checked in. We will generate the bracket. Go over yonder. Goblins. Round 1. Whoops. Edit. Round 1. All right. And I'm up against Adam TM. Nice. Yo, did you guys see my Slaanesh games in Terran's tournament yesterday? It was pretty sick. Whipped out the Sweat Lord City last night. It was amazing. Oh my gosh, it was a joy. It was an absolute joy playing Slaanesh again. Let's see, Hashut's oil fields. There we go. Let's get this on in over there. Very nice. All right. Anyways, Abby, yo. Swant, yo. Malekith, I already read that. Yesterday you were talking about, what was this? Oh, female streaming. Okay, yeah, about women in streaming. When you phrase it like that, it sounds weird, man. I wanted to let you know that your take was really refreshing. Thanks for being cool. Oh, thank you. I was wondering if we're gonna see some Tzeentch dominance. Oh, don't worry. If Chark decides to play today, I'm sure we will see much Tzeentch dominance. If he decides to play Tzeentch. It seems like he's been really learning the Kairos shenanigans. How's it feel going from sweaty Slanesh to these memes? You know, sweating as Slanesh is fun. But, I will say memes are great. Memes are great. Cause like I already know what Super Sweat Lordin is like. Okay, so Circlet of Iron is just insane. Seraphon is just too hyped to pass up. But what magic do we want? I can do Chill Wind at 5 wins. So he's Warriors of Chaos. So it's 16 winds of magic for 5. Did it get buffed? Chill Wind upgraded. Armor piercing from 16 to 22. So it will do 22 damage. So what? That's 6 more damage. 6 over 16 is 37%. You're paying 3 more winds of magic. It will give a bigger frostbite effect. Is it worth? Is that worth? Oh man, that's a weird one. Like I definitely want Power of Darkness, right? Nobody expects the Blade Wind. Okay, I gotta try Gaze of Malice. I'm obligated to. I'll get the army blocker up in a second. Doombolt is just the boring one, right? It also costs 200, kind of expensive. I like, you know, Chillwind, since I don't have a slow, Chillwind could really help save my chariots. Like, it brings Hellstriders down to half speed, right? If I overcast. That's just good. It's just good. And then we'll figure out the rest in a bit. Do we need Supreme Spell Shield? Probably not. Yeah, I'm excited though. We got a gigantic dragon to just romp around and crush face. Let's see, Warriors of Chaos. What can I expect? They may have a. Oh, I should probably take Soul Stealer. Soul Stealer is just too good to pass up. Do I go for like the crazy extra caster tech? How cheap is a vanilla caster? With Darkstar Cloak, it's 400 gold. Is there any magic that I like would really want? Okay, you know what? Spamming Power of Darkness is kind of jokes. It does mean the caster will cost 500 gold. But I will have like infinite winds of magic, right? Honestly, Doombolt would be kind of hilarious. But yeah, I guess I just spam Chill Wind into the horizon. What's the worst that can happen? Do I get 2 casters? Do I double down? I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted. And then what? I can basically play this the same way that Danican plays this, right? Just Scourge Runner Kite. True Warhammer 2 fashion. Then lots of cold ones, lots of Doomfires. Danican likes to go a lot more infantry heavy, which is really good in the rush, but it's Warriors of Chaos, so I don't think I really need to rush that. I kind of wonder if Shades are good here. I feel like Shades would be great if I can kill the mobility. Like, the mobility fight is where it's gonna go down. Hey, Aether Wolf, what's up on the Twitch chat? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the Hydra got buffed. The War Hydra. Dread War Hydra action. Alright, you know what? This is a janky build, but I want to see where this goes. Hey, Gideon! Oh my gosh, with the sub, thank you so much. Let's see if this works. I'm thinking Dark Elves is very powerful right now. I'm real interested. Like, you know, this is not going to be the most optimized Dark Elf build. But generally, Dark Elves are really strong if you can make use of their passive And if you can micro your chariots really well. So Danican uses all the ammunition on his chariots, and then he still uses them as actual chariots. He tends to get about 1,000 gold per chariot, or close to it. So that's kind of what we're aiming for. Word of Pain any good? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Wait, how long does it last? It does last 40 seconds. It's 8 winds of magic though. You might as well just cast Blade Wind at that point. Man, you can make a unit not do a lot of damage in melee. The charge though will still do damage, but in a long grindy melee you can prevent damage for 40 seconds. Or you can Doom Bolt their face off. I know which one I'm picking. Also, I submitted my units that need some lovin' list to Creative Assembly. Never ever will there be a guarantee that it gets implemented because there's land battle conflicts, campaign conflicts, and just time. But you know, for Beastmen, Beast Lord, Spawn, Cockatrice, Rapont, Gotrek, Gordoz, Red Olgor, Soul Grinder of Khorne, Sword and Shield Dreadlord, Death Hag, Grombrindle, Garagrim, Empire Generals, Bruckner, the Magistrate, Terracottas, Grimgore, Night Goblin Archer Fanatics, the Prince, Bolt Thrower, and Lore Master for High Elves, Demon Prince of Khorne, also known as Red Olgor, and the Soul Grinder of Khorne, Adamance for Kislev and the Golden Knight, Tic-Tac-Toe and Croak, Chieftain and Frost Dragon for Norska, Epidemius and Herald for Nurgle, Plague Ogres and Pox Riders. That was Turin's suggestion for Nurgle. Ogre Paymaster's Tyrant, and probably Greases still. And the Noblar Scrap Launcher, Tretch, Doomwheel's Hellpits, Slanesh Demon Prince / Herald and the War Shrine, Tomb Kings and Hyrule Titan, Village and his War Shrine, Aranessa still, Bloated Corpse and Gallows Giant, Isabella and Hex Wraiths, Be'lakor and Herald Hammerstorm, Orion and Ariel. All lords that really... all lords and heroes that we do not see very often. I think it would be sick if they implemented even 10% of that list. But yeah, those are the ones that I feel like are pretty uncontroversial buffs. Because they're pretty bad. All of them are pretty bad. Even in the single player sphere, they're pretty bad. What's your favorite faction to play right now? Probably still Slanesh. I really like the speed demon strats. Ready, good luck, have fun. Yeah, I really like them speed demon strats. So here's the idea. Get 1,000,000 winds of magic. Overcast Chillwind for the mega slow. And then kite them to death with Scourge Runner Chariots. It's a very simple style. Then we have our 6 summons. Medusa. Regiment of Renown, because why not? We got some Raven Heralds in case he doesn't have an answer for them. And then just a whack load of Knights. Now, if he does spam out Hell Cannons, it could be a little sus. But we'll see. I feel like these chariots are gonna cook, man. This slow is insane. The Golden Knight can make Katerin on foot. On Frost Wyverns, super tanky. 50% ward save permanent. Isn't it like an aura? Then you have to stay close. There's a reason why we don't see it. The counter play is... isn't it only like they remove magic attacks? So you can still Final Transmutation Katerin, right? Or you can just shoot her if you're outside the range of the thing. I don't know, man. Kind of sus. Alright. Behold the power of darkness. Behold the other power of darkness. Alright, so my, you can see my magic is climbing rather rapidly. It's climbing rather rapidly. We're gonna be able to capture point number 1, point number 2. And it seems like they've gone for a kind of kitey build. Dude, I'm gonna max out on magic. Crap, I forgot about that. The magic max is out at like max out at like what, 100? That's a little awkward. Yeah, who we gonna shoot? Oh, and the big bird, it gets peppered. Okay, so I want to keep bullying the big bird. Let's see here. We got a lot of Doomfire Warlocks. Malekith is on the hunt. And it's going to be a Hell Cannon. Okay. Totally fine by me. Hell Cannon is kind of whatevs. I am made out of magic. I should just spend my magic right now. Let's see here. Raven Heralds will be pretty fun. There's a little bit of healing for the Malekith. He's going to be healing, so you might as well use another Power of Darkness. I'm made out of Winds of Magic right now. We are just gonna spam it. I will have to worry about these horsemen though. So we're just gonna dodge one of their attacks. Get a breath attack over there. Then we're gonna overcast my chill wind, and now they have 50 speed. Beautiful. Actually, that's pretty good. Malekith is not too worried. He will heal. And now it's just uber slow aspiring champions. Like Malekith is a beast. He will not really suffer much in general. Just gonna we see some Hellstriders. You know, I think Doomfire Warlocks trade up into Hellstriders. That shouldn't be a big problem. And then with that dude down, we can now take out the artillery piece that is causing me so many issues. I did manage to use all my Winds of Magic, though. We are actually out of magic. It's kind of awkward. But I'd say things are going well. Things are going quite well. As now that glorious Hell Cannon is about to get sniped. There are some horsemen here, and they are out of range of my chariots. So they're actually going to go for it. Wow, okay. Interesting. I'm not gonna make it easy for them though. He's gonna get a oh wait, that's actually a really bad Searing Doom. He just killed all his units. Brother, what are you doing? Well, that's gotta hurt. Although he might rout off my my Scourge Runners. We'll see. What if I just chuck out a slow? Meantime, we can Doombolt Kairos. Should be fine. I think the artillery piece is dead. Yep. Nice. And most of my chariots do live. So this is actually going great. Yeah, this is going amazing then. Malekith can just heal up now. And then it's just killing all these guys. That poor hero, dude, he got wrecked, man. He got so wrecked by the by my dudes. Sartorial's kind of suffering too. Let's just let's just get more magic. Why not? I like having infinity magic. Oh boy, dude, the fact that I can just spam spells 24/7 is pretty funny. So there go the aspiring champions, and we have so much time right now. We're both at 300 tickets, which is rather low in general. So they have used up their usefulness. They can teleport with draw if they want or what have you. Does get a pretty good Searing Doom though. I let off a little bit and we got punished for it. But chariots are still alive at high entities. So I don't think we really have to worry about that. Was this just a Forsaken unit? I do have yet another Soul Stealer. I still have 65 Winds of Magic despite just spamming it out this entire game. Pretty fun. It's a Hellstriders versus Cold One Knights. There's no way. There's absolutely no way they beat Cold One Knights. Cold One Knights are just insane. see what I need. 382 kills for Murderous Prowess. Yeah, so the weird thing about this build is that Murderous Prowess is a little awkward to actually get, but overall, I still think we're doing pretty good. And there's yet another Soul Stealer. Malekith just having the best time of his life. A little bit of a dodge, accidental dodge. Let's go. Here we go. And Hellstrider should go down. Aspiring Champions are good, but they're not super great versus these like big monsters. Here we go. Let's focus fire the bird. I think he will be going down this game, actually. If I can kill the bird, that would be sick. Debuff him. Debuff his armor to make him even more killable. Oh, he's running. He's making a mad dash. Okay, I can do some of these ladies now. Oh, crap. He pulled into his Aspiring Champions. Good play, good play. But, yeah, bird's going to go down. And if he doesn't die now, he's going to die to, like, some Soul Stealer action for sure. He's getting real low. And I have another Doomfire Warlock. Let's go. Oh, I think he just overcast. Oh my gosh, the brutality. I believe he just overcast, which means that he is very likely now going to get deleted off the face of the planet. And just like that, the bird goes down. Yeah, now we ain't doing Doombolt spam. That's boring. GG. All right, nice. So that was a good first game. I think my build was just really good into his though. The whole like, I think Warriors of Chaos just doesn't really have an answer to Scourge Runners, right? Now here's the thing. I had a lot of magic, but I don't think I made the best use out of it. Malekith only got 1448 value. So, yeah, it's kind of rough. Scourge Runner's got insane value, though. All right. Yeah, Scourge Runner's just cook, man. I would take a whole army of Scourge Runners if I could. This really is like old school Warhammer. Very nice. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the magic spam though, because those ladies cost 500 pop. Like, it's funny, but like, does the extra magic really get that much value? Maybe if I'm Doombolting. Will you continue the skink challenge? Yeah, I'm gonna try winning with skinks only later. Hey, Spoopadoo, what's up? It's going very well. Planning to do some editing later today, so I can get some more videos and whatnot. I really do want to get more videos out at some point. All that. So that was Dark Elves versus Warriors of Chaos. Sorcerer Shadows on Dragon to spam Melkoths. Well, I have to run Malekith. I am legally obligated to run Malekith. This was Hugo's request. He gave me 10 euros, and that's a lot of money. It's genuinely a lot of money. So we're gonna see what we can do here. Want to see a Crone Death Star with Witches and Executioners at some point. At some point. Dark Elves are super strong right now. You know what I really want to do? Combine this with the Shade. With the Shade challenge. I feel like Shades can get so much work done if they don't immediately die. But Malekith does have Chill Wind spam, right? And you can reduce the miscast chance, so you can start overcasting Chillwind without risking taking damage. Interesting. Yeah, that combos really well with Shades, doesn't it? Forces your opponent to try and rush you. Then you just slow their cavalry and then just murder them all. Can do this with Malekith on a cold one. A cold one chariot? I heard chariots are popular nowadays. Everyone's running those Zinch chariot dudes. I hope they do more ROR units like the Raven Heralds. They're really cool. I like, you know, that Rogue One of. The closest thing we have to it is the Eshin Man-Eater. The little ninja Man-Eater. But yeah, having more like this would be so hype. Like an ROR bloated corpse that flies. Come on, CA. It can't possibly be that OP. Actually impossible. Anyways, what I'm really worried about is facing Danican in the mirror match. I feel like in the mirror match, Danican's gonna be pretty spooky. Oh, he really likes the Canite Assassins with Web of Shadows. They cost 750 though, but just the raw disruption they can do typically makes them worth it. Rugled's Orcs, yeah, they're real cool. Sigmar Suns are, you know, an OG, but they're actually, you know, that Unbreakable does make a big difference. Or bloated corpse explosion radius is map wide. It's just, what was it? What's the Magic the Gathering card that just wipes the board? Let's see here. Let's see what else can I do. I feel like Dark Elves are at the best with their kite. I wish I could make a Hydra work. So a Hydra is the same price as 2 Canite Assassins. It has Fiery Breath, but getting into position is very difficult. It does heal a stupendous amount though. Bloat Aiden Icket nuke by mistake. Let's see. The bolt throwers just suck. They have less range than the high elf bolt throwers. So they're just the worst bolt thrower in the game. Let's see here. Repeated crossbows are okay. What else we got? We have your cold one chariots compared to scourge runners. Not even close. Although they do have armor piercing. But dude, the speed difference though, 18 speed difference. Jeez Louise. 110 armor though, 62. The thing is, you're paying, no one wants a 1,100 gold chariot. You can ask the vampire accounts about that. Ravagers of Rakarth. Yo, does anyone take the ROR chariot? It has barbed net. So it affects all enemies in range, reduces their missile resistance speed. It also has poison, which is not a very common Dark Elf thingamajig to have. Now, I guess you're paying like 250 gold for poison. But if we're just talking the raw slowing power of this bad boy, combined with the Overcast Chillwind, maybe it's sick. High Elf Lion Chariots are good. Lion Chariots for High Elves, they're okay. I think a lot of people have been enjoying single entity chariots. Yeah, I feel like Ravagers of Rakarth are not the worst. It is 250 gold in the end, and they have the same amount of ammunition. They just shoot a bit faster. I guess they shoot quite a bit faster. They have slightly better stats overall. But yeah, I think like most of the time they're just not going to pay for themselves. The poison has to be good though, right? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. No one has ever run the Ravagers of Rakarth. Everyone just goes normal Scourge Runner Chariots, and I think that does make sense. The ability on them is they have a slow in 35 meters. That's it. And poison. So technically they can slow down by 25%. Like you can get some pretty insane slows. But most of the time, Dark Elf Chariots aren't getting caught anyways. Are Dark Shard builds viable? Dark Shard builds? Yeah, they're good. No one ever goes heavy on them because they get pretty hard to defend. They got to push up really far because of their range, but most Dark Elf builds tend to sprinkle them in. A one of, though, of the Bolt Fiends is hype because they have extra range and a whopping 20 extra range. So they're pretty hype, though very expensive and very little HP. 5,600 is cavalry levels of HP. Literally, it's real rough. But they definitely get a lot of damage in, though. I would not write off the Dark Elf DPS. All right, one more game and then we're ready to go. But yeah, I really want to try with Shades. I also really want to see if I can trigger the Dark Elf passive. So one good thing about Assassins is that I think if you start with fewer units, I think it's easier to get the passive off. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works. And you want the passive if you go for like a more main tidy build. Like if you go like, you know, Bleak Sword Rush. Honestly, just a bunch of Bleak Swords already so good. I know Danican likes his Witch Elves. With the Dark Elf passive, they probably cut through elite infantry like butter. These guys are a bit too slow to actually get in the fight, but like, yeah, just even basic Bleak Sword Corsair is pretty spooky. Be cool if it was a contact effect, like better poison, or in addition to the poison on their missile attack. Yeah, a little bit of mega poison. Maybe like an armor sundering. I don't know. Yeah, at some point I should make an ROR list. I feel like there's a bunch of regiments of renown that could use buffs. Or at least some touch-ups. Yeah, anyone seen Uncle Furuncle get more play? He did get buffed, guys. Uncle Furuncle got buffed. You beat Opal? Oh, dang, meaty dangler, jeez. Yeah, Opal's a spooky player. You want to see Malekith, Blackguard, and Executioners again? Oh my gosh, the good old days. The good old days. Honestly, Malekith is pretty good support for these chariots. I do give him that. Don't you badmouth Unky Funky. One day, who do you think will be viable first? Uncle Furuncle or Bloated Corpses? I would say Bloated Corpses first because they're the ones that I keep mentioning. But who knows? Maybe CA will, they'll give Uncle Furuncle enough price reductions. Realistically, though, even at 600 gold, he doesn't, or 1600, right? Is Uncle Furuncle really that much more impactful than just a normal War Hydra? These guys have breath attacks. They have regeneration. They don't hit as hard and they rout. But, like, people aren't really running Hydras, you know? Oh, I see. Okay, some lag issues going on. Alright. Next round should be starting soon. Bro had me sweating even when I had a 3k gold lead. He's cracked. Yeah, man. Yo, did you guys see the dwarves versus Slanesh? Slayer spam as dwarves is like weirdly good against Slanesh. I will say, I think an infantry-based Slanesh can do well. You could probably just rush down the dwarves, but I'm a little spooked. I'm a little spooked. What are your thoughts on rotting Promethean gunnery mobs? Yay, absolutely yay. The only downside is that their roster doesn't really support them very much. So the only way to defend them from single entities is to bring like a Terrorgeist or a whack load of guns. But they're so expensive that your whack load of guns will tend to not have a lot of defense. I don't know, it just things don't mesh well enough with Vampire Coast. But like I think rotting Promethean gunnery mobs they're good enough where they would probably see play on other factions if they could run them. Max Shades. Yeah, I wonder how easy it'll be to trigger my passive if I bring like this many units. Yeah, Slayer. So I played against them earlier in the tournament. Jack Erskines, who was playing the dwarves. I played against him earlier. I disconnected from our first game. Like it lagged and crashed. And we replayed it. And all the games were pretty close. All the games were very close. The reason why I played in his backfield was because I knew if he consolidated too much, I would just get screwed over. So like I just have to nibble away at the edges. But if you bring enough infantry, you could probably just rush them down like a Slayer build. But it's way harder to beat if you're playing a mobility max. Also, for anyone waiting for the next round, it will be starting soon. We're just waiting on a little bit of an admin check. Are the guns really worth the cost on the rotting Prometheans? I never see the normal ones. Oh, it's super worth, man. So the shotguns will fire in combat. That's the big difference. So it's like having a range unit on top of your melee unit. Because melee DPS is really slow, range DPS is really high. So if you have those guns firing away, they will just annihilate any large target that they fight. As long as it's not like a Lewin or something. It's also not that much of a price increase, and it's like a massive DPS increase. Max bloated corpses if they ever get viable, you know, they are almost cheap enough to be usable. Still very janky. I think bloated corpses, they need a damage boost. The fact that they don't kill cavalry is kind of sucky. They should even do damage to single entities, you know? At least a little bit, you know? Make it like 500 damage or something. That way they at least don't have like an ultra hard counter where they just get 0 value. All right, here we go. All right. $500 damage is not little. It's like, you know, what? It's like 66% of a spirit leech. Maybe a bit more. But like, come on. Like, I think, well, actually, let's see. The thing is, you can also shoot them to death. But like, let's say even if you're playing against Khorne, right? I think like Scarbrand would happily take 500 damage to just like insta delete 350 gold off the battlefield. Or you just bring in Marauder Horsemen and then they also die. All right, here we go. So we are in round 2. Goblins, round 2. And we are up against Subutai. All right. Yo, yo, here we go. I'm Dark Elves, and the map is going to be Decrepit Moor. Hype. But yeah, the whole point is that the unit's supposed to be good. The unit is supposed to be usable. If the unit doesn't have teeth, you know, what are we even doing? Juchi, your favorite faction? Oh, hell yeah. What's your favorite lord, though? Boss, Eveng. What about the deleter unit with Shades ambush strat? We gonna see that one again? I might try it out. So Subutai, it appears, is playing the Ogre Kingdoms. Ooh, all right, all right. I'm very interested to see how this one works. Ogre Kingdoms, huh? So usually we see a lot of Noblar spam. Usually. But I wouldn't be surprised if he tries going, well, no, I think like going like big single entities is like insane. To do that against Dark Elves is just asking to get murdered, right? I do think Dark Elves have a pretty good time here. The biggest thing is just like, don't get big rushed. Make sure your cavalry get their charges off and all that business. Bloated Corpse is an extremely good meme. It would be a, I feel like, you know, if you could, Bloated Corpse would be a better meme if it was stronger. You know, the whole it's like so terrible is still very good. But if every once in a while you get a post where a Bloated Corpse actually hits, I feel like that would elevate its status. So people don't talk about bloats that much in normal day to day, you know. Actually, maybe you guys do. Every time I play a campaign as Vampire Coast, you guys bring up the bloats only. But I think ghosts only is a bigger meme than bloats only. And I would say ghosts only would be easier to win. I'm pretty sure it would be easier to win as, yeah. Okay, so Ogre Kingdoms. You obviously want Cold One Knights. You obviously want Dark Riders, right? Do you want Doomfire Warlocks? Do you want Doomfire Warlocks into Ogre Kingdoms? It's a hard one to say. I don't know. I really want to go like Shade Max here, but like I feel like Ogre Kingdoms just eat shades for breakfast. They're way too fast, man. They're insanely fast. The ogres. Let's see. Okay, this feels not terrible. Anyone know how to spend 600 gold as Dark Elves? I'm not gonna get a Dark Shard shield. That seems not very smart. Yeah, everything costs 650. Everything costs 650 50 for the Dark Elves. What a ripoff. Ogres eat everything for breakfast. It's kind of their shtick. Dang, y'all, you got me there. You know, Gaze of Malice is probably good, right? Just to deal with some Noblars. Alright, let's see how this pans out. The big thing is I gotta get my passive triggered. I need my passive running. Because as soon as it starts going, all the ogres should just die. Sure, you know, let's try it out. Why not? But yeah, a passive. So like ogres tend to fall apart if you can just crush their Noblars, like ranged ogre builds. If you can just delete all the Noblars, it kind of works out. boy. But yeah, like you're way less prone to getting overwhelmed because they'll just have Ogre Bulls and then the Lead Belchers, and all of that dies to your cavalry. But if they have a million Noblars, it gets a lot more sus. Leadership bombing with Charybdis Assassin Poison and Doom and Darkness. Yeah, unfortunately the leadership bombing is not too great. Most of the leadership debuffs come from combat damage. So spending that much money on it's kind of rough. Usually terror is enough, but it's probably not that bad against Beastmen. Beastmen suck against getting leadership bombed. Anyways, I brought a pretty fun build. I think you can actually math how many units they have by looking at Murderous Mastery. Like, you see how many units, right? You could probably calculate exactly how many units they have, but anyways. So we're going to try a Mega Snipe. So I'm going to position here, right? We're going to go here, line up, and then we're going to catch whichever unit he tries to capture this point with. Or capture this point with. Ready, good luck, have fun. If he doesn't expect it, so like ogres tend to go pretty wide. If he doesn't expect it and goes really wide, he might just lose some bulls right away. Malekith has his chill wind. Overcast that for the slow. He has his item to stop him from miscasting. So we can just overcast 24/7. This is just a glorified slow though. It's a little weird. It does last 20 seconds, however, which is nice. Now we are going to see a Thunder Tusk to start off with. Interesting. I'm capturing this point here because he's gonna suspect that I have a bunch of stealth units. But if I capture this point with the assassins, he'll think that this point is actually fairly open, right? So we just gotta scoot our way up. Here comes the Thunder Tusk, looking to make a name for himself. And double assassins will annihilate the Lead Belcher, so that's not a big issue. So here we go. We're just gonna tentatively park over here. As long as he doesn't summon like Saber Tusks and spots me, we're good. So point is captured. He doesn't have any Man Eaters over there. We're gonna bring in these guys. Okay, so he does have some trappers, I see. I'm gonna need to ward him off. Maybe we can commit with the Malekith. Thankfully, the Thunder Tusk does not do too much damage. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna see if I can bait it out. I really want to bait it out by first sending Malekith just straight onto the trappers like it's nothing. Like it's no one's business, right? And then the Thunder Tusk is going to try and kill Malekith. At which point, we now slow it down to 33 speed. And then we delete its face. Pretty simple, isn't it? That was a pretty good shade volley. That was a pretty good shade volley. Holy crap, that's slow. It doesn't end. Holy crap, it's almost routed. All right, well, that was sick. I'll take that, man. Oh my gosh, will I take that? That was pretty amazing. That was pretty sick, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, the mega slow. Yeah, I didn't expect that one, buddy. Those Ogre Bulls are getting slow too by the Frostbite. They just straight up get routed. Then we kill off the Thunder Tusk, and then life is beautiful. There you go. There's another AoE over there. Oh my gosh, dude. We did him so dirty. We did him so dirty with that play. Thunder Tusk is gone, man. I just gotta escort it off and then we're good. These pigback riders will probably slow Malekith though. So I do have to be a wee bit careful. Come on, fly. Fly, you fool. And there we go. He's fine. All right, sick. Very nice. Yeah, it's super over now. It's super duper over. Unless he can catch my shades here, it's gonna be a rough time almost no matter what. I do have some bleak swords we can summon on in. Malekith can just keep on chasing. Unfortunately, the assassins actually kind of got their butts kicked by this Slaughter Master, but He's down a whole Thunder Tusk now. It's going to be rough. Almost no matter what. Oh man, dude, that's so sick. The overcast. The overcast got so much work done. Alright, here we go. Another chill wind just to knock him down. Chill wind actually does quite a bit of damage. He's about to lose his lord too. And then Gaze of Malice to rout them off. Jeez, man. Holy crap. This is actually a sick build. I love it. Alright, a little bit more Winds of Magic. There we go. We kill off these guys. And the Mighty Thunder Tusk. To think that unit has to be banned. I think not. There go his main eaters. Turns out Shades are kind of good. Shades are kind of good. Who would have guessed? All right, let's get more cavalry in here. Looks like my boys over here, Cold One Knights, just farming it up. They're having a good time. So just Ogre dual weapons, whatever. Noblars, I don't gotta worry about very much. Oh crap, my Shades aren't shooting. Whoopsie daisies. Turned off fire at will a while ago. There we go. I just gotta go for that Lord snipe now and then we're set. Okay, capture point number 1 is secured. Got a little bit of a route. Shades do have decent melee stats, so they can just fight the Noblars. It's not the cleanest thing in the world, but they can fight Noblars. Here we go. Here comes the Lord Snipe. Should be able to rout off those their Ogre Bulls. And I think I should be fine, but let's not throw this one, right? Gotta make sure we don't throw here. Gotta just kill that Lord as fast as possible. Looks like I will be losing most of my Shades, sadly, but not without a sick Lord Snipe. My Assassins will probably come back. I should have kept my Shades alive, though. I shouldn't have YOLO'd with them. That was my B. At least with the Lord loss penalty, though, it's going to get very difficult for the Ogre Kingdoms. I certainly have a lot of time here, and with the round of Scourge Runner Chariots, this will be very rough indeed. Okay, Malekith, get him. Get that dragon attack animation. Come on, baby. Beat him up. Dang, those assassins are really hyped. They keep coming back. I must say, I am rather impressed by the assassins. All right, there we go. These Shades can actually just fight. They got their buff. Ah, hell yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, that passive kick in. Passive kicked in. And it's just gonna massacre everything for the next minute and a half. Looks like the Lord did indeed die. And what, just some Ogre Bulls over here. Not a big problem. Double K-Knight Assassins back. I have a triple cap. Yeah. I just needed that passive to kick in, and then everything's going our way now. And you gotta remember, right? He lost his Thunder Tusk and his Lord. Oh my gosh, dude. I love the Shade play because no one ever really goes for it. So it catches people off guard like all the time, man. And the other bonus is I'm running Chill Wind. See, and like no one expects the overcast Chill Wind. Where's the Doom Bolt? I don't need Doom Bolt. I need Chill Wind and Shade Mega Fire. Look at this guy. You got 257 value. Yeah, it's such a good bait because you don't telegraph that it's gonna happen with your spell kit. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, the late game was badly played because I forgot to turn Fire at Will on for my Shades. But other than that, it's pretty nice. Why no Cold One Knights? They're in reserve. They did decent. Nice. Honestly, sick. I love that. Yo, that was so fun. Dude, I love Shades so much. If I play against Danican, I'm probably going to go Shades. So what? That was Dark Elves versus Ogre Kingdoms. Dark Elves win. Why double assassin? Danican likes double assassin a lot, and I just wanted to see if they were good or not. One Rapturous Expanse next. Yeah, double assassin, I don't know. They feel kind of expensive. They're not the best fighters in the world, but they're really annoying. So they were really good at pushing the lead belchers away for a bit. But when they're surrounded by infantry, they tend to die. Also very low HP and quite expensive. They're kind of like the White Kings of the Dark Elves, but not nearly as tanky. How this do versus Khorne? As long as you don't get rushed down, you're good. And I think the Overcast Chillwind really does well here. Like, Circlet of Iron, Overcast Chillwind spam, I feel like is legitimately amazing. The only downside is Malekith costs way too much. He's 1,000 gold more than Archaon. The only difference, the biggest difference is that he has breath attacks. You know, maybe if I just make use of the breath attacks. Kind of like how the Arcane Phoenix Whirlwind ability is super good. Malekith's breath attacks should be getting me like way more value, right? I should be focusing on it as one of my main power plays. Could the assassins be substituted by masters? Do masters have anything? What's their stat line looking like? So they have Guardian. They cost about the same. They don't have the Web of Shadows though. Don't tell me that Guardian's gonna help them out. It's not. More armor, anti-large, 50 melee defense. But nothing compares to Web of Shadows. Web of Shadows is just value farming. Lots and lots of damage. It's like a mini Final Transmutation, basically. It actually is just like a Final Transmutation. Wait, how does it compare? Lore of Metal, Final Transmutation. 8 seconds. Does 3 times as much damage. Doesn't last as long. Yeah, they're like mini Final Transmutations. And fighters with pretty good leadership, so they stick around. It's nice. Oh, hell yeah, Charix is playing today. Charix is, oh, Scrambled Eggs is still playing Nurgle. Dang. I played against Scrambled Eggs and Nurgle as Slanesh. It was a massacre. Although you had some pretty sick builds. It's just, yeah, it's Slanesh versus Nurgle. What's Charix playing? High Elves! Oh boy, Charix is done with Zinchia. We're done for, guys. If I have to play against Charix's High Elves, I just have to make use of my faction advantage, right? But I like, he's High Elves. He's gonna massacre me unless we pull a Danican on him. If he beats Danican, I got no chance, man. Scrambled got scrambled last night. Dude, so Scrambled Eggs earlier in the tournament, he ran a quad Beast of Nurgle build into me. It was crazy, guys. So he ran Kugath, 3 Exalted Plague Bearers, 4 Beasts of Nurgle, and it was actually kind of scary. Yeah, I just, you know, I just avoided him for most of the game, but yeah, actually I think I have the replay. Do I have the replay? Let's see. So that was his, yeah, this was his Rot Knight build, which got massacred by Seekers. Took a forest fight too. Yeah, you see this madness? Yeah, this was a crazy one. For anyone not in the loop, we did indeed play some Slanesh last night on Turin stream. Police Siren, yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it. Which Dark Elf Legendary Lord would you say is the best overall? The I don't know. It used to be Marathi. A lot of people are running Rakarth lately because he has his chariot. But yeah, so the super scary thing that I was testing out is if you play Slanesh and go for a triple cap right away, you put them on an 8-minute timer to win the game. And that is not a lot of time. So, and also because you're going a mobility style, like they can't fan out to capture the point. So you can see how timidly he's playing because he's worried about a big fight. And he wants to make sure that he doesn't just die. But like we just stall him out. So by the time he gets to the first point, I have 400 tickets over him. That's disgusting. All right, I'm already like almost a third of the way to winning the game. Now, obviously, we can't just fight this. It's a Kugath blob with Exalteds. But, like, how is he gonna fan out to actually secure both points, right? So you can see he's really struggling because he doesn't want to just get surrounded, right? That would just be insta. But like we just stall him out forever, man. And then he makes the misplay of summoning in Plague Bearers, and they can't even get to the backfield. The funny thing about Slaanesh is that they can actually just play in your opponent's backfield. We rampage his Angels of Decay, by the way. But yeah, you can stop them from summoning units in. You build up your forces, so you just get a massive army lead, and then you just fight them. Or they try to summon units in to group up, and then you just kill those guys. So we get an absolute massacre here. And my army's just building up, and he can't reinforce his points. So this is really good because he does eventually get the middle, but it's so easy to retake. I use a Pit of Shades to shut them down, then I just bring in all the cavalry, get the free capture. He tries to move Kugat to save this blob situation, and that's when we move in our Forsaken and Demonettes. It's brutal, man. It's absolutely brutal. I do almost lose my Lord though. But yeah, the capture speed is like way too insane. And then we will almost be winning on a single cap now. Yeah, he does kill my Lord, but he loses the Angels. And then yeah, it's pretty over. I will say though, I think if you play the blob build right, you can win against Slaanesh. But you gotta be super careful that your backfield summons don't just get murdered. Yeah, the full surround is sick. It's if you can bait your opponent into summoning in an exposed unit, you just get free picks for days. It's so nice. Love Slaanesh, man. What's even the right play here? So you need to play in a blob, and your summonings have to be able to make it to your main army. So probably the thing that I found that works best, at least when I was playing vampire accounts, is you get like a bunch of halberds and you just play in like a big fat box with like 3 mobile units to punish cap charges. So you could probably go for a decent number of marauders and then like get some plague drones. Kugat is a little slow, but like you can eventually park yourself between 2 points and just hold it forever. But it's very map dependent. I think if the reinforcement points are too far from the capture points, Slaanesh can just give you a ring around the rosy. What you like about Dark Elves right now? I like the fact that they can kite super well, and that they have the threat of a rush, which forces your opponents to respect you. And the more they respect the rush, the weaker they get to kite. And that kind of duality makes both play styles much more effective, and they're also 2 play styles I like playing. Shade Kite especially. Shade Kite is hilarious. Sadly, you can only take 4 shades, but it's really all you need. 4 shades kind of mulch everything. Kind of wonder if it's worth it to go for the dual weapons, by the way. Dual weapons have anti-infantry next charge bonus, but optimally my shade should never see combat. I could never respect an Elgi. Honestly understandable. I started out as a dwarf main. Nurgle halberds. Okay, as Nurgle you don't have halberds, but like Pestigors are kind of fine enough. They're a relatively cheap chunky unit with decent leadership. I would not take Nurglings. I think that's terrible. But yeah, probably just go Pestigor, Plague Ogre. Like the leadership is through the roof. And then if you just play in an ultra box, you're probably gonna be fine. Yeah, you just ultra box for Slaanesh, because Slaanesh really needs that flank. If you can get a match where Slaanesh never flanks you, you're fine. Sounds like a tall order, but it is really doable. There's a reason why Slaanesh is bottom tier in land battle. So you basically want to make a land battle build. Is the rule of thumb. So get your Plague Ogres to kill their infantry. And then just get a whack load of Forsaken to grind their cavalry down. and then just never get flanked. Kugath gets beat by Nakari. He just can't hit him. Really? That's pretty crazy. Although with support, I'm sure Kugath can definitely kill Nakari. I think a Kugath is actually not a terrible idea either. But you need a counter charge punish. So probably to stop cavalry from getting into your box and romping around, you just bring like 1 or 2 rot flies to stop that, and then it's probably okay. I think Marauder Horsemen are bait because they don't really work in a box. To see saw the light and left stunties behind. One day, the dwarven skill ceiling will go higher. They have really high micro units in gyrocopters. Gyrocopters are sick, man. But yeah, what do they have outside of gyros? I don't know. And gyros get hard countered, right? So the one high micro unit that you can bring in to potentially make some fat plays, it just dies. At the highest level, Nurgle will almost never beat Slaanesh. Yeah, well, I think it's just a bad matchup, right? And you can't really skew it either. It's very hard to skew it. So everyone, like both sides know what both sides are going to bring, and Nurgle is still behind. So at the highest level, even players, you would expect Slaanesh to win. Because there's also not a lot of ways for Slaanesh to make misplays. But you never know. I'm sure someone's going to figure it out. Like hell, I had a hard time with dwarves of all factions as Slaanesh. You ever bring out witches? I would like to try witches. So, yeah, dark elf witches. Take a look at these ladies. In theory, they're good. In theory, they're good. They got a witch brew, make some rampage, and deal 1,000,000 damage. So, like, technically, each witch has a Occam's Mind Razor self-cast. You can just self-cast Occam's. Which, like, in theory is insane. 650 HP. 6,500 HP. Oh, man. Bleak Swords are just so much safer as a unit. Isn't Malekith too expensive? Well, that's a challenge. We got a huge donation from Hugo Esteler the other day to do a full day of Malekith. And I think Dark Elves are strong enough where you can absolutely get some sick Malekith action. He can also overcast Chillwind. I can't overstate how fun it is to overcast Chillwind. Also reduces reload skill. Interesting. So if you're fighting skirmishers, you can, I guess, make it harder for them to reload for a bit. Interesting. I wonder what he's gonna go for though. If it becomes a Scourge Runner v Scourge Runner battle, I don't want to mirror Scourge Runner play him because I think Danicane's Scourge Runner micro is better than mine. But if I wanted to counter Scourge Runners, I got options, right? You can cav rush them, you can shoot them, just give them no targets. They almost always have targets though. Man, I don't know. Witch elves? Witch elves. Maybe we'll try them out next match. So what? Charybdis. You know, if I make, technically, if the Arcane Phoenix Vortex is so good, shouldn't the breath attacks on Black Dragons be good? It's only 400 gold more. It's, a lot slower. But, you know, if we make use of all the breath attacks, maybe it's clutch. It's like way too expensive though, right? And it's like really hard to line up a good breath attack these days. All right, one more match, and then we're good to go to round 3. I think of the new Hydra. I think it's still a little weak. Single entities above 1,200 gold are high risk single entities. You have to be able to farm an absurd amount of value for something at this cost to be worth it, you know. Some units that do that are like the Shredder of Lustria, you know, the Stonehorn, Thunder Tusk. But those are infantry clearing single entities. The War Hydra doesn't really infantry clear. It's more of a duelist. And if you want a duelist single entity, you take Manticores, right? Like 2 Manticores are a good enough punish, you know? Like if a Mammoth charges into your back line, you send a Manticore on it. Or even better, you know, you get like a Malekith or something. It's way better than having a lumbering Hydra around. But I don't know. It also doesn't really fit into the Dark Elf playbook. Dark Elves like kiting. They also like rushing. But the War Hydra isn't even that good at rushing, right? It's not even that good at rushing. What's the War Hydra do? Like, what is its role? What, when you think about War Hydra, what's it supposed to do? Would use a Medusa and a kite build for some factions, yeah. Manticores are a tier 3 monster without AP. Yeah, Manticores in multiplayer they're priced like a, you know, tier 2 monster, right? But in campaign, the whole rampage business, these guys are terrible in campaign. So bad. It tanks damage. It tanks damage, yes. If I wanted an expensive unit that could tank damage, why not just get like Knights of the Ebon Claw? I guess they have less HP. Guess they have less HP, but they can actually like do stuff. It also doesn't really tank damage. 35% missile resist. So let's say it is worth it, right? So let's give the Hydra 10,000 missile resist, right? At that point, it stops tanking damage because it's just not worth shooting. So the only time it will tank damage is if it's not worth it for you. That's kind of what I'm hearing, right? Now, you know, you need a bruiser, not a tank, because there's no aggro pulling in this game outside of Rampage. So what does it do once it's in the enemy backline? It doesn't really kill infantry or cavalry. So it's not even a distraction card effects. Like a Shredder of Lustria, that tanks damage, okay? Shredder of Lustria tanks damage because if it doesn't die, your whole army's gonna be gone in 2 seconds, right? So you kind of have to shoot it or you'll get mulched. War Hydra, not the same unless you can manage some breath attacks, but you can't even use them in melee, which I don't even know why that's a restriction. Hydra, it should just let you use breath attacks in melee. I feel like that would make it way better, actually. That would make it so much better because you can just walk it into position. As it stands, if there's even one infantry unit nearby, it gets a little shy, and then no more breath attacks. How's Skaven doing in the current meta? Not great. I would give them like a B- tier, in that you can run them, you can get wins with them, but when the going gets hot, it ain't gonna work. Yeah, breath attack canceling too, because the breath counts as a ranged attack, so it gets canceled just like any other ranged attack. Dark Elves have a rampage effect on me. Yes, I play High Elves. Yo, we're gonna be playing against Charix most likely at some point today, and he's playing High Elves today. So if you're excited for some good old High Elf and Dark Elf action, keep an eye out. Okay, Pizu's done. We just need the score reported. Looks like Pizu's having some lag. That's unfortunate. Been noting a lot of lag reports for Warhammer lately. Alright, let's just, we'll just drop Pizu. Says he's dropping. So that means his opponent should have 1 Swiss point. We'll go ahead and fix that. And then we can get on with the tournament. I'm very excited to test my Dark Elf metal against Danican and Charix. 2 very well-known elf players, right? We got like we have the Dark Elf main and the High Elf main in this tournament today. And I'm here as imposter Dark Elves. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Goblins, round 3. We're up against Winterwind. Is he playing Zinch today? Yo, yo. I'm Dark Elves. Do that. And Winterwind is going to be playing this day. Demons of Chaos. Ooh. With Seekers. Ooh. Interesting, interesting. Charybdis any good? Not with the current Dark Elf meta. Charybdis would be like an okay monster. It's still not that good. It would be an okay monster in, like, let's say Beastmen, right? So like Beastmen, they could use a monster at that price point, let's say. Would a Charybdis do well there? It would be okay. Maybe you'd run it for some factions for some leadership bombing. Compare it to a Frostworm, though. Are you kidding me? Compare it to a Frostworm, and it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. Okay, so Adam TM has to drop, so Danican gets the win. Danican should be at 3 Swiss points, which he is. Perfect. All right. Anyways, Demons of Chaos. We're on Rapturous Expanse. It's basically a Hell Pit Abomination. Yeah, that's the crappy part. That's the garbage part. Domination is a very mobile game mode. There's not a lot of places for those type of units to do well, sadly. What a shame. Okay, so Demons of Chaos. Very spooky faction. Lot of mobile cavalry. A lot of magic damage, which makes Doomfire Warlocks a little less effective. But Cold One Knights absolutely can fill the void. But what do I want my main army to be? How do we want to play this game? Demons of Chaos, they have... What do they even have? How do they play this match? Let me check. Demons of Chaos. So, Demons of Chaos, they have, like, Screamers, Furies. They do have access to Skull Cannon shenanigans. They do have access to all the Soul Grinders, Fire Chariots. A lot of really expensive units. If they're going to do a rush down, it's like Bloodletters, Demonettes. Seekers are probably the biggest issue. Can't be that bad, right? Alright, let's assemble this build. So obviously we're running Malekith. I have to. Do I need Khainite Assassins? I think Cold One Knights make sense. Kind of want to try this. So they have Seekers, not Hellstriders. Dark Riders are out. Cold Ones you're in. Seekers versus Cold One Knights would be pain for both sides. They would delete each other. Harpies can be a big misplay if they run into Furies. They could just die immediately. Don't really want that. Howdy, hey Strider, what's up? What's up? We're here figuring out if Keen Knight Assassins are good versus Demons of Chaos. There's a lot of situations where they're okay. There's a lot of situations where they just do nothing. You know, honestly, I don't really know how I feel about Keen Knight Assassins in general. I just, I don't know if I can get a lot of work out of them. Maybe I'm just crazy though. So he's ready. Magic-wise, the possibilities are endless. Could even rush me down if he wants to. That would be most unfortunate. You know what? This is a hilarious build. Let's go for it. So, what if he spams blues? I just gotta not get mobility rush though, right? Like, flesh hounds are not an issue. This should be a matchup where Scourge Runner Chariots are good. Scourge Runner Chariots are just always good, right? You just can't go wrong with them. I will say Black Arc Courser Handbows, though. I'm not the biggest fan. Witch Elves would immediately die to blues, so screw that business. Sure, you know, let's just try this. Let's just try a normal build. What's the worst? Winter Wind's a spooky player. All right. Gotta do some adminning. 1 second. Just a wee bit of adminning. Alrighty. There we go. So that's set. We do this. Okay. That should have fixed things, I believe. So this is the build. I wanted to try Shades again. I think Shades can be as good as Scourge Runner Chariots. You just have to make sure you don't get rushed to death. So let's see it. Malekith. A lot of Shades. And then double Cold One Night. Spending wise is very good. Ready, good luck, have fun. It's 14 units. Will my opponent rush down the Shades? That's the big question. Ignoble Naldor, what's up? Elves coming back to Slanesh. Very fitting indeed. Fighting against the Demons of Chaos. Ah, yeah, very fitting. Think Changebringers will cook Malekith? Nah, Malekith's a beast. I do have to find some good Power of Darkness targets. Part's a little wacky. Guess I don't have to cast Power of Darkness at the beginning. Cast it later on. So seeing a Herald of Tzeentch. With Infernal Gateway, I see. So I'm gonna show my hand a little bit. So this is a very ranged heavy squad. He has the book, Locus of Abjuration. So I gotta be super careful about those Infernal Gateways, right? Infernal Gateway will just cook me. Let's get one Dark Rider just to capture. Getting the early captures will be nice. And I gotta use Malekith to just zone this guy out. Okay, there we go. So first things first, we're gonna hammer those. Plague Toads, right? This is basically Scourge Runner Kite without the Scourge Runners. Come on, you darn Shades. Shoot. Shoot them up. Very slow volleys there. They will be mildly punished for it, most likely. Malekith's doing fine, though. A little bit of damage. A little bit of damage. Looks like they will live, however. Malekith kind of whiffs his attack there. And it is going to be Fury spam. Now, Furies are not the end of the world. should be able to just play keep away from them. Although it is a little sus. Definitely a little sus. Let's see if Malekith can take this fight. This should be a fairly good AoE over there. Damage-wise, not bad. Got a dodge. Unfortunately, that Infernal Gateway is probably going to land mostly. Yeah. Brutality, man. Absolute brutality. So we're down 1 shade already. Wowza. I can't summon in Medusa, though, because he doesn't really have a lot that can kill that. It'll be a start. It'll be a start. My shades will rally. Though this initial rush is most definitely rather painful. Can I get a breath attack on his lord? Let's see, let's see. Okay, pretty decent breath attack, actually. And I should be able to get a pretty good slowdown here to help my guys escape. Shades will be able to disengage. And the Medusa's in. Medusa's absolutely in. She's gonna get cooking. Shades are gonna get firing. And then, yeah, I do still have 3 of them online and operational. So I don't think it's the end of the world here. Malekith 2 is pretty good at just surviving in general. As long as I don't let him get a massive volley off here, we're good. Can kind of play keep away with his lord. Definitely a lot of micro, though. But 1 Nurgling is dead. Huzzah! Huzzah! Oh, he's giving Malekith a run for his money. Okay. And he summons in the Tzeentch Soul Grinder. Wowza. All right. Now that is going to make things pretty spicy. So he shoots out a blue fire. And okay, just like a little mini Doom Bolt. Not the end of the world. Malekith does have his breath attacks too. These pinks won't know what hit him. Here we go. A little bit of it slow. Damage shading wise, it ain't the end of the world. Malekith is still alive, which is very important here. And yeah, let's just get some extra magic. I feel like I'm gonna need it this game. At least with the capture here, it's fine. And the Soul Grinder is not going to be able to get that much work done. Unfortunately, summon points are really far away, but you know, Malekith, he continues to get a little bit of work in. There's a couple dudes here, but the shades are still alive. My cavalry's still doing great. Okay, you know, damage is all right here, I guess. Maybe I can kill some Furies. Looks like he wants another blue fire. It should be fine. Medusa should be able to live. It was okay. Looks like he's probably gonna kill the Medusa. That is a very big loss. Brutality. Wowza. Alright, so Medusa's down. Malekith at least is still alive though. And we're firing away. Got some more Cold One Knights over here. Needless to say, this is definitely not a great position. But it is not impossible to win this. I have my Bleak Swords in here. Jeez, that pink fire is gonna hurt. Ouch, man. Brother. Bro. That was painful. And Malekith is pretty slow too. He's not really cooking this guy up too hard. However, I do have a whack load of cavalry and he's been chucking Furies my way since the beginning. So one thing we can do with our passive now triggering is to just go for a fat push. This is definitely where we cook now, right? As much as the early game has gone rough, now is the time that we punch back. You can see the Dark Elf passive. Just amazing, ain't it? There you go. It's a massacre all around, right? So all his force is getting caught up here. That should be a pretty decent chill wind on them Seekers. 2. Very nice. Malekith can kill off that Soul Grinder. You can see the leadership's going well. The only downside is Malekith is a little low. He kind of whiffs the pink fire, so it doesn't do as much damage as it could. Okay, alright, you know what? Maybe we actually get this. The big thing is, will Malekith die? It's a brutal bombardment that he just drops in on me. Malekith, though, he's fighting. If anything, he's a fighter. He will have another Soul Stealer very soon. Okay, I just need one wind of magic. Just one wind of magic. There you go. So there's a Soul Stealer. Come on, Malekith. Come on, there's a heal. Okay. Heal is huge. Seekers are painful. Come on, Malekith, live. I should have brought in the cavalry to save him earlier. Dang it, he routes. But I do potentially catch his lord here. What a tussle. What an absolute tussle. He chucks out the vortex. But his lord's getting pretty low too. His seekers are all but gone, and Malekith might rally if he doesn't have a summon form. His lord's definitely suffering, but yeah, he does have the Fury's brutality. At least we kill his lord though, and that's gonna hurt his seekers a whack load. I have more chariots. All right. And Malekith will take some time to get escorted off the battlefield. His loss will not be in vain. It's a double lord loss. Very interesting. Okay, here we go. Soul Grinder should go down very soon. I gotta kill off the Seekers, right? It's just killing off the Seekers and using the chariots with the Soul Grinder. It's a brutal loss for both sides, but I think we barely came out on top. Thank goodness for that passive. Thank goodness for that darn passive, man. He does have a Seeker, though, and we did just lose Malekith. It's a pretty good charge, at least. All right, you darn chariots. This one's on you. This one's got to come down to the chariots and whether or not I can actually capture points. No Malekith is going to be very rough. But that's one capture point. Yeah, I think if the Seekers catch the chariots, it's over. These chariots are very slippery, though. I can probably get this point. They're in good vigor. His Hellstriders are not. He does have his Soul Grinder online and operational. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so close. It's gonna be so close. I wonder if he's gonna resummon his Lord or what. So Shades are in. Fire at Will is on. Oh boy, all right, here we go. The greatest tussle of our time, indeed. I will have Dark Riders back in the fight soon, though, and he just has Furies, right? Furies we can kill. Soul Grinder will probably die soon. It's low. It looks like he'll probably just barely stick around. I do have some Dark Riders that can come on in. Okay, yeah, Soul Grinder's dying. Okay, that's a good sign. It's a very good sign. But will he be able to secure this point? It's all about who can actually secure points now. So Soul Grinder dies. Okay. Dark Riders are in. They do have the passive for another little while, so they will happily just take a fight here against some Hellstriders. We summon in another Dark Rider. I mostly want to just play for trades, and we're going to use our chariots to kill the Furies, hopefully. Sadly, the Dark Elves, Dark Elf Cavalry Corps is having a little bit of a hard time here. I will say the Shades versus the Pinks was really rough, but I do kill the first wave of Hellstriders. That's a plus. Okay, there we go. Man, dude, those Pinks barely sticking around, though, are such a menace. Oh, but he might make a misplay here. Sends in the Furies early. They're just gonna die to my Chariot Corps. That's good. Then he sends in the Seekers. But they're already dead. I still have a lot of Chariots online, and I have Shades here now. Okay, he's almost army wiped. I think we might actually win this. This is gonna be a close one indeed. So you actually just have to split here. Oh crap, no. Seems like the Dark Riders just suck. Dark Riders had a very rough time though, but the Shades are able to fire. He summoned in some more Pinks. Okay, that's really good for me. So if I can just capture this point, we're good. I just need some cavalry. Looks like the chariots will... One of them will barely rout. They're down to 2 entities, but it looks like we will probably be able to ward off these Seekers, and I will be able to capture my second point. We do win on a double cap. And he has a bunch of Nurglings here. I could probably kill off these Nurglings. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We got Cold One Knights in here. Dare I go for the other point? So my Shades can go invisible. And he did just summon in, so I can probably take this point pretty easily. I just gotta make sure the Seekers don't kill me. So let's get into position. Get a little bit of a free volley off, right? Scourge Runners are very mobile. And I can summon in the Dark Riders as needed. I think we barely win this. It's gonna be so close though. So he has 2 pinks, but I have a Cold One Knight. If I can run down them pinks, we're goodies. I just gotta make sure I don't get caught by like a Seeker summon or something. Going for the Furies. Okay, interesting. So we're gonna want to keep the Shades alive first and foremost, and just stall him from capturing points. Unfortunately, the Nurglings actually hold. It's terrifying. But what is he gonna do with these Furies, right? What is he gonna do with them? I just got the capture point. Is he just gonna YOLO them in? That would be rather ludicrous. I think that would be a bad play for my opponent. Okay. We still have the double cap. We got a fat Cold One Knight charge in here coming on in. And it appears he is... Okay, he's trying to defend his pinks. And the Shades live. Wowza. Okay, the Shades are gonna live. Cold One Knights are just trying to find a good target here. Disruption effects are going well. But he might triple cap me, which could spell doom if we're not careful. Oh boy, here we go. He's doing a really good job keeping his Seekers away from me. And it looks like he'll probably be able to get a double cap. Dang, another Seeker gets summoned. I think we're done for, guys. I think we're done for unless I manage to get a really good fight with these Cold One Knights. I barely keep the point, which was integral for this position to work out properly. I'm just gonna have to capture this point. Dang, these Seekers are such a pain. Okay, I do secure the point, but yeah, the Seekers are just a little bit too mobile, a little bit too fast. I really wonder if Doomfire Warlocks would have uptraded into them. But yeah, now he has the double cap. And unless we get a miracle here, this guy's almost stuck around. Yeah, unless we get a miracle, it's over. Dang, super close game. Super duper close game. In the end, the Shades are just not good versus a conventional ranged army. GG, well played. And Winterwind takes the win. Woo. Yeah, I was hoping you would be more worried about the Scourge Runners and field more of those Soul Grinders at the beginning. The Shades would have done way better there. Oh my gosh, that was a fun one. That was a very fun one. Shades all got pretty good value except for one. Cold One Knights were good. But yeah, if I'm gonna play this matchup, Medusa was not it, right? The blues and pinks were way more difficult than I thought they would be to handle. If I wanted to win this, I think a counter build would just be a fat infantry rush. Herald of Tzeentch was way too fast for Malekith to catch up to, sadly. Let's see here. Yeah, I feel like I just need like a fat infantry rush to beat that. But it's a lot of firepower, and they take a lot of time to take out. If I wanted to kill Seekers, so let's take a look at Doomfire Warlocks versus Seekers real quick. We got Theorycraft, because I might face Winterwind in the semifinals. Let's take a look. If we go to Demons of Chaos, compare them to Seekers. Speed-wise, Seekers are happy. HP-wise, Seekers are happy. They have better stats all around, but slightly less weapon strength and, of course, no abilities. I will have Frenzy. He will have Devastating Flanker. Honestly, Doomfire Warlocks are not the worst. They're not the worst compared to Seekers. Assuming I get the charge and I make use of Murderous Prowess, we're getting somewhere. They are more expensive though. Brutal. Winter Wind is absolutely a menace. Let's see. If I were to try Dark Elf. So the blues and pinks is a pretty normal army. If we go for a full rush, it's gonna work. So Scourge Runners don't really have the oomph to deal with them, right? I feel like the nerfs did nothing to them. The nerfs definitely did something. They don't kill single entities as hard as they used to. It used to be an absolute stomping. Now they're, you know, they're in the same tier as other Slaneshi Cav. I feel like, let's see here. So you can't go for that Handbow strat, but that's not really going to work out too well. You could go heavier on the range. So these are 130, these are 125. You can go super hard on the Dark Shard Shield range spam. You're spending a lot on armor piercing in this case. That doesn't get you very far. Magic damage pretty rough. Dang, blues and pinks. Actually, yeah, I'm looking at the Dark Elf roster. I can see why Danican took Reaper Bolt Throwers versus Zinch. Blues and pinks do really well into such a physical resist heavy Dark Elf faction. And then you have Seekers to bully their cavalry. Seekers have like almost, they have like 50% more speed compared to Cold One Knights. Interesting. I don't think it's impossible. I think I would actually want to go for the Master on a Pegasus like Danican did. Literally just to hunt down those super annoying flyers. Anyways, as long as I win the next match, we'll be good. Hey, Half Rune, thank you very much for the 10. Here goes to thank you for many hours of entertainment. Thank you so much.
Hi, and here it goes to thank you for many hours of entertainment. In a fully campaign player,
yeah.
Legend brought me here, but now you got me interested in MP. I'm still expecting a Wood Elf melee stream.
Oh yeah, the Wood Elf melee stream. Yo, I'll bump that up. I'll happily play Wood Elf melee tomorrow. That was one that I was really excited for, but kind of fell to the wayside to the Cathay grind. Where's it at? Wood Elf melee stream. Yo, I'll do it, man. Wood Elves have some of the best melee in the game. Thank you so much again. Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow. Wood Elf melee only. Danican says he got a goofy score. What does that mean? What happened? Oh, he has 4 Swiss points. Whoops a daisies. We'll get that fixed. Cathay streams were absolutely worth it. Yo, I feel like Cathay is legit like B- tier with the Moonbirds. Without the Moonbirds, absolutely not. But with them, I feel like they actually kind of cook. Yeah, Zotes, get the Zote action. Shield of Thorns got buffed. Fiends are more annoying than Seekers these days. Oh, I would big disagree on that. Seekers are brutal. Oh, absolutely max Wild Riders. Wild Riders are so nice. So nice. All right, I'm gonna go get some milk. The starvation's kicking in. All right. Here we go. I've gone to get milk just like Dad. Not like this. All right, here we go. 2 more matches. Let's see. What are my options versus Demons of Chaos? Seems like it might actually be a really bad matchup. Because you're very prone to getting Lord sniped too. Okay, here's the thing. Is there a slow we can chuck out? Like, okay, I gotta go for the master. Low tier. Well, today's a Malekith day. Today's absolutely a Malekith day. So if I go for the master, and then I so want to take Argonet Executioners, but I know they're just gonna die. Anything is possible, though. My confidence is immeasurable. Bloodrack Shrine. Harpies? A Harpy Rush? Your dad went for Cougars? Dang. The typo. Oh my gosh. Shades Max? No, Shade Max. Shades don't... They get outranged by pinks. That's the rough part. I almost want to go Dark Shard maxing. But Pink Fire is brutality against them. Less than 56 HP a pop. Or about 56 HP a pop. No way to spam, no easy way to spam magic attacks. Corsairs. Do I just bring in the Cold One chariots and just melee mode them? Assassin's Trophy, it's good, but only for single entity duels. You can catch them off guard at the beginning before the Seekers show up. Blues and pinks, one way you can go about it is you can spam Corsairs. The Corsairs are 80 armored, decent HP. They can just rush in and mulch them. It's the problem is you don't have enough Corsairs. You run out of Corsairs. You can only take 5. I'm not running Corsair handbows either. Chill of Sontar. Not in this case. Especially not against Tzeentch. They're weak to fire. Oh, nice. Alright, so it looks like Bagosh. Their opponent tapped out. So what, they have 2 wins. So I gotta fix that, and then we can move to the next round. I wonder how Danican and Charix are doing. Why are Corsairs specifically limited? No, they're not like limited. Like you can take like 10 Corsairs. I just mean that, you know, melee Corsairs you can only take 5. All units or most infantry are limited to 5 or 4. The problem is, like, if you want to really go hard on the armor, you just have to bring more. Heard Malekith hates snow. Absolutely. So win to win the meaty dangler and Danican with 3 wins. Did Charix not get 3? Charix lose. Charix lost 1. Dang, I might face Charix next. That would be pretty spice. Winter win again. Oh boy. All right. Again. All right. Yo, hell yeah. This is where it's at, man. This is where it's at. Goblins. Round 4. So we're up against Winter Wind again. Now, if I'm not gonna beat him here, there's no way I would have beat him in the semi. So this will be a true test. Oh, revenge came early today. Edge of the Darkwood. Okay, here we go. This is a much bigger map, a much more open map. I was just thinking about you. Wow. Alrighty. I ain't holding back for this one, okay? Absolutely, we're not gonna hold back for this one. We're going full out, full on massacre in time. Alrighty. You guys know I'm gonna bring Doom Bolt, right? I have to, guys. I have to. Let's see. The question is, what am I doing with the rest of my stuff here? So this is a good start. I still need a good composition, and we still gotta kill Seekers. We still have to kill Seekers, and then of course the Fury spam. Edge and Dark in the map name, perfect for Dark Elves. Almost said Slanesh. Alrighty, 40 and slip. Alright, anyways, how do I kill him though? How does one kill Seekers? I must know. Yeah, I really feel like Doomfire Warlocks can do well here. Their speed is good, their magic damage is will get through the physical resist of demons. They have no armor, but you know, fast cav is still fast cav. You just can't go wrong with them, right? Release the limiters, Melkoths. Well, we're going for Malekith today. No time for Melkoths. ROR Warlocks. Honestly, no one really runs them. They're kind of expensive for what they do. If they're really easy to hard counter, I feel like is the problem. Stuck in the 70-30 Demons versus Dark Elves matchup. I'll get him this time. Ain't no way he beats me again. Let's see, how's this do? Okay, that's pretty nice. Then we get one of these, and now what? So Dark Riders just suck. As far as I can tell, Dark Riders are not it. Cold War Knights are really slow, but they act as a pretty decent battering ram. Okay, all right. You know, what if I just take this? What if I just do it like this? This is good. That's okay, I guess. The confidence is wavering, guys. Confidence is wavering. He's gonna have blues and pinks into the horizon, or he goes for some weirdo build, some craziness. Do I want this unit? Probably not. I don't think that's gonna do well. Yeah, how do you kill Seekers? Ask ChatGPT. Gotta do a ChatGPT makes my build stream at some point. Go for double bolt thrower. Okay, I gotta resist the urge. Every Dark Elf player has experienced the urge to go for bolt throwers and has been sorely disappointed. I will not fall for the same trap. Okay, all right, there we go. So it's I have a build. It'll be sick. If we lose this, we're out of the tournament. We get to cast some games, but I think we can win this. Blackguard of Nagaron box. Last time we brought Infernal Gateway, which is like a mega pit of shades. That would just delete Blackguard. This time, though, Malekith is gonna cook. Behold! Yes, I did bring Doomfire Warlocks. So even though they probably down trade to Seekers, if I micro my cavalry well enough, a marginal difference is not going to be huge. Doomfire Warlocks are effectively Seekers here. Scourge Runner Chariots are just good. You can't go wrong with them. Malekith on a Chariot should be hype. And I did bring Sisters of Slaughter. Just because I had the money. Now, they gotta not die to like pink fire. Ready? Good luck, have fun. They must survive pink fire. So I'm gonna hide them in the trees at the beginning. Hopefully he doesn't see them. And then we'll go from there. Double Master to control the skies. They're anti-large. You can hunt down his lord. Got the Doom Bolt. You know I ain't fooling around when I whip out the Doom Bolt. All right, I want to win this one. All right. Everyone's been banning Doom Bolt, even Terran. So I'm really interested to see how this goes. So he has Pink Fire, Blue Fire, Infernal Gateway. Same kit as last time. Blue Fire range is real short though, so should be a good start. Yeah, he brought the same build. A risky play indeed. So I'm gonna want the Master for sure. He actually uses his little ability there. So let's take a look. He has 800 shields. I'm really interested to see. Everyone always talks about Doombolt being insane.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Looks like he's just playing keep away. All right. He's gonna dodge this. He's gonna dodge it up. Let's get that Master going. Yeah, he dodges the first volley. Okay, yeah, he's playing keep away. As expected, it makes sense. So what are the Scourge Runners gonna do now? So there's some toads that I can shoot at. Big plus, big plus. This build doesn't have a lot of ranged. It actually goes for Fiends, which I feel like is kind of a crazy play. There you go, Scourge Runners getting some deeps in. So I can just kill all his mobility and cavalry and such. I should be in a fine position. He's gonna want to cast some magic over here. We're gonna deny that. And then we're gonna Doombolt his face off with the Malekith. First things first though. Big ol' Scourge Runner volley. They can dodge just fine too, so they're kind of burning the ammunition with the blues. Alright, gets a little bit of a hit there. Let's try out the Doombolt shenanigans. Sister's coming on in. Can he dodge it? The answer is... Wow, look at that. Doombolt, people. So good that it got banned. Wowza. Alright. Take it, we take it. I'm gonna need some mobility here to save these ladies in a second. Huge. Alright, so he's just gonna kite a little bit. Joke's on him, we're also kiting. Just a wee bit. I'm gonna try and bait out his blue ammunition too. If we can do that, we'll probably be fine. Master's been taking some bad trades though. But there you go. Alley-oop. That's you know, decent damage. Decent ammunition trading for me. Because once the blues are out, my Corsairs can go ham, right? Alright, you gotta escape though. He's really burning ammunition. That's gonna hurt him quite a bit. You can land. He's not focusing Malekith either, which is also pleasant. And I should be able to capture his back point, as he is now losing a few dudes there. Let's get a couple more shots in. There we go. So far the kite's going pretty well. And okay, yeah, there's the Dread Seekers. The Dread Seekers, oh Slanesh. Still trying to kill my Scourge Runners. I'm still trying to kill the Plague Toads. It's taking a hot minute. Okay, he's gonna fall for the trap though, right? He's gonna fall for the trap and then lose his Seekers. That's the play. That's the big play that I'm trying to make here, right? You gotta go for some crazy plays if you want to win this. So hopefully he's not paying attention. And then we will be able to just get a fat counter charge here. Okay, here we go. And he does notice. Okay. So he does notice. He's gonna pull back. Master, unfortunately, is taking way more damage than he ought to be. But the ladies here are still cooking it up all right. He does have a double cap on me, which I don't very much appreciate. But the ladies here, they're doing well. Okay, looks like he's going to be pulling back here, maybe? No, okay. Maybe he wants to fight with the Furies. Kind of hard to tell. Gonna get a Mini-Doom Bolt over there. Okay, so we got the capture point. We know these ladies should be able to get at least decent damage here. If I kind of just go for a full rotation, I think we are okay. Having infantry support is huge, especially a little bit of chariot loving too. Does get that massive AoE though. Pretty painful. And yeah, they're just gonna be gone. Holy crap, they got deleted. Now I do have the capture point, which is a plus. Absolutely, that's a plus. But this is not the prettiest situation ever. He's just shadowing me with these guys. I can probably kill his blues at least. He did pull all of his cavalry away, so maybe we can get a little bit of engagement here. This is looking pretty bad though overall. So he's probably gonna recapture that point. I will be able to get a swift charge on his face and maybe some shots off, which is nice. Maybe get some Corsairs in there, perhaps. Get another Cold One Knight unit in there. All right. This pivot is going to be painful, though. You can see he's already up trading, right? Furies are brutal. Wow, he killed the Cold One Knights? I don't even know what killed him. How'd they even die? It was just the Furies? Oh my gosh, there's Chaos Furies of Slaanesh. No wonder. Dude, this tech. This guy has tech. This guy has some massive tech here, and it's wrecking me. Oh, geez, that's a brutal fight. Okay, Soul Stealer, like so. Okay, we're gonna get our boys in. Okay, here we go. Jeez, Chaos Furies of Slaanesh. What is this life? What is this life even? Alright, there we go. Damage is okay. Malekith is gonna try and get the Doom Bolt. Here we go. Master can get in there. Alright. That's the Mini-Doom Bolt. Jeez, the Furies of Slaanesh is such a painful tech to go for. I'm gonna hope that he overextends here though. At the very least, the odds of him overextending are rather high. As it stands, he is extremely far forwards, right? And maybe I can get a sick passive proc. Maybe. Are these fiends gonna die? Fiends are being a big problem right now. Master's just caught up, dude. He's just cooking me. He's just absolutely cooking me right now. All right, he doesn't even need all his blues here to help out. That's the worst part. At least Malekith is still doing fine. He's gonna get another Soul Stealer over there. Okay, there's the passive trigger. Okay, and my chariots are able to get in there. So here's the play. We have our cavalry has killed off his cavalry. If I kill off all his pinks at this point and then dive in these guys over here, we might have but a singular chance. You can see the armor debuff. Very painful for him, right? Very painful indeed. We have some Cold One Knights coming back in. We have our Corsairs coming in. You know the second wind is where it's at when it comes to Slaanesh dominance. Here you go. Here comes another one of these guys. I mean, Dark Elves. I keep saying Slaanesh. Yeah, Dark Elves second wind is great. So the chariots will be very important here for just up trading into all these guys. Malekith too, very much so. Okay, there we go. We got Corsairs in there. Come on, Chariot Micro, live. If I can just kill all these guys and get a capture point in any reasonable amount of time, we'll probably be okay. Okay, there we go. Malekith just needs to back up. He's losing Furies left, right, and center too. There you go. Okay, there's Fury death. And I have possibly a cavalry advantage. Malekith, of course, is gonna have to play it safe. Jeez, that's a brutal spell cast though. Okay. His Lord's taking a lot of damage. Can I hunt him down? If he throws his Lord, that would be amazing. I think we're just running out of units though, right? We get the hit on him. We get the hit on him, but he lives. And, jeez, there they are again. Another unit of Seekers. Oh, another unit of Seekers of Slaanesh. Wowza. It never ends. Dude, you can just win this with pure Seekers. How does that keep missing, man? Dude, why is this spell banned? That's the least consistent thing I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I couldn't kill his Lord this time around. He played well. He played well. There's literally nothing I can do against Seekers though. They just mulched my poor Doomfire Warlocks that time around. I think I would have had to go for a range build. Honestly, the Shades did better last time. Brutality, absolute brutality. Yeah, the flying really screwing me over. I got my ladies over here. Malekith versus the Blood Reaper. Dude, the Furies of Slaanesh killing off my knights was so brutal, man. Oh my goodness. At least Malekith's doing okay. I do get one capture point, but yeah, we're in the same problem as last time. In a late game against Seekers, we're just dead. Oh, GG, well played. Run. Run. Yeah. Maybe I should have just gone for a mass ranged build. Just man-tied it and just hope that he doesn't pink fire me to death, maybe. Dang. Alright, GG, well played. GG, well played.
There is only defeat.
Ah, that's a shame. Well, at least we get to cover some good old semifinals. The Doombolt being dodged is really rough. I think even if they landed though, that was gonna be very difficult. Let's take a look. See, yeah, Seeker's crushed here. Let's see here. Seekers aren't the worst. Dark Elves just don't have a great answer for them. Let's take a look. See, of course, I did want to try Malekith. So this guy can really play keep away. This Herald of Tzeentch. Something to consider in the future. You would need like some kind of slow, because the master that I thought was gonna counter him just got bogged down by Furies, and then it was pain and suffering. Seekers are 1k. Dang. So what would be the strat then? Yeah, I'd be real interested to see if Danican can win this. I think if I had to give it one more go, the other strategy that I had planned was just a fat Dark Elf man-tide. So like 1,000,000 Bleak Swords, 1,000,000 Corsairs. And hell, maybe I just spam Dread Spears. So like if I went for something like this and just went for like, you know, ultra cheap Malekith, right? I'm pretty sure I could have rushed down his blues and pinks because they really didn't have that much support. Cavalry wise though, it's always going to be rough. I think the only summons that I can bring that are safe are the Scourge Runner Chariots. They come with the bonus that they kill Furies, which is nice. Most of the infantry is just asked to get murdered. What if the Hydra was the answer? Nah, there's no way. Got any ideas for melee Wood Elves? Loads. Yeah, but yeah, I was trying a different play style. I really wanted to do the Doomfire Warlock play to try and contest them in the mobile game, but Yeah, it was not going to work out. And then, of course, the Masters. Masters were a bad call. Blade Wind. Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe just spam Blade Wind on the blues. It's 18 damage, 7 seconds. That would definitely help out in like a long-term trading. Buna's also really good if I wanted a, you know, if I didn't go for Malekith. You do have to make sure your caster doesn't die though. Blue Fire is a pain. Shades with dual weapons? Nah. So the Furies will still deal a lot of damage. And they also stall long enough. Also, the bigger issue is pinks. Well played, though. Winter Wind really is a menace on them demon factions. Oh crap, did I click Advanced Swiss? Ah, crap, I accidentally clicked Advanced Swiss. God dang it. I accidentally clicked Advance Swiss. Please ignore. Dang it, I accidentally clicked Advance Swiss. Oh my gosh, alright, well now I gotta... Is there a way I can... God, sometimes I hate Total Tavern. What's it? Scrambled eggs. Scrambled egg special is not gonna make it anyways. I think we have our top 4, so it's fine. Danican is still playing though. Versus the Meaty Dangler. Okay, so... Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, Danican's still playing versus the Meaty Dangler, but it doesn't matter who wins, so I think we're fine. Oh my gosh, it's... We botched it. Oh, Charik's lost? Charik's actually got taken out. Wow, that's surprising. I guess his high elves failed him today. Brutality. Scrambled eggs versus discerned. Okay, I think we have our top 4. I think we have our top 4. So I'm just gonna advance top 4 and pretend like I did nothing wrong. It's gonna be Winter Wind, Sipa, the Meaty Dangler, and Danican. Let's see here. Souffle. Yeah, I think no one else can get enough wins to make it there. Opal Bear was also 2 wins, right? Opal Bear Black. Okay, yeah. All right. You know what? It all worked out. We're fine. We're fine. All right. At the Meaty Dangler versus at Winter Wind. At Danican versus at Sipa. All right. Here we go. Lobby code, please. You guys can play. All right, we should be fine. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I was thinking you could like chill win the Seekers, but it's just too hard to uptrade into them. You don't really have any cav that can uptrade into Seekers. Not with Dark Elves. Yeah, especially if they play around the blues and the pinks. The blues and the pinks really seal your fate. If it wasn't for them, then at least the Doomfire Warlocks are kind of like Seekers, and they'll tussle a little bit. Yeah, maybe I should just spam Blade Wind. Blade Wind spam could be really dope. Anyways, seems like Dark Elves do bleed though. If I ever need to counter them in a tournament, I'm 100% going to 100% going to Anyways, I'm going to sorry, separate thing. It's yeah, I'm going to counter him with like Zinch or Demons of Chaos. All right. Anyways, assuming I did this tournament right, we should be fine. Oh, I see. It's because Danican and the Meaty Dangler are still fighting. They're probably still finishing their match. Okay, such is life, such is life. There were only 4 people that had 3 or higher wins, right? I'm not screwing someone over. Crap! Bagosh actually made it. Really? Bag. Oh, they did make it. Ah, crap. Never mind. I screwed up twice. Wait, I goofed twice. Bag. Osh. You'll be playing tiebreaker. Oh my gosh, I was a fool. Yeah, Bagosh needs to play versus one of these players. It could be Sipa, it could be the Meaty Dangler, we'll see. Danican and Meaty Dangler have to finish first, though. Not the jank. Not the jank. Alright, well, while we wait. I'll get your opponent in a sec. All people with 3+ wins get to play tiebreaker now. All right. In a sec, when Danican is done their game. Okay, all right. Let's just get these guys in first. No, we're not doing 5 rounds. I misclicked. Sorry. Come on. All right. We're adminning. We're hard adminning right now. There's people messaging me like, "Oh, hey, it's a 5th round." No, it's not. It's not a 5th round. I'm sorry. I wanted to click back into the browser, but one misclick and Total Tavern's like, "Oh, you wanna do a 5th round? You wanna nuke the bracket? I'm on it. I'm on it right away, sir. Right away. I'll delete the bracket. I don't need you don't gotta tell me twice." Oh my gosh. All right. Let's see if Bladewind is good versus Blues. Oh, the disaster. All right. Yeah, we'll get a tiebreaker, and then we'll get semis, and then we're good. Okay, Danican. Let me know when you're done your match. All right. And then we can get started. We get started good. First things first. Does this work? It got like no value, even on a pretty decent hit. That was sad. That was very sad. Can it do a little bit more damage? Yeah, I guess. 1 question mark. Okay, so Danican finished. Never mind. I'm good. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's gonna be Danican. Oh, Lemur's Bane also won. God dang it. All right. Let's get the Total Tavern. Okay. All right. At the Meaty Dangler. At Winter Wind. Sorry, I goofed. You guys are in top 4. Please stand by while some tie breakers play. At Sipa, you are verse at Bag Osh. At Danican, you are verse at Lemur's Bane. Winners make it to tie to top 4. And then we message Sipa. Okay. So should be cleared up. Lobby code, please. All right, we got there. We got there, baby. We did it. We did it. All right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You think Malekith is just way worse than Malkoth's spam? Yeah. I think Malekith's okay, though. He's not the worst. He's just a little on the expensive side is all. All right, here we go. Huh. Disaster tournament. At least pre-picked maps help speed things up a lot. Alrighty. So, we're going to be watching Sipa. Sipa is going to be playing against Bagosh. Let's take a look. Ogre Kingdoms. How will it do? Bagosh is playing, let's see here. Oh yeah, they're in. Let's go. So, Sipa's playing Ogres. Bagosh is playing... It appears... What is he playing? He's playing Petonia? Corn? I don't see their faction declaration. Interesting. Am I just blind? I'm probably just blind. I'm probably just blind. The last message was... Alright, well, whatever. It seems like they haven't figured out. He's playing Corn, it seems. Is he a Corn main? I think he's a Corn main. Have them play rock, paper, scissors in chat? Nah. This will go just fine. Alright, so. Ogre Kingdoms versus Corn. I would say Ogre Kingdoms slap here. I think Ogre Kingdoms delete Corn with the power of kite and shooting. What's up, Weber? Man, adminning is exhausting. I'm so happy tomorrow won't... Tomorrow someone else is hosting the tournament, so I can chill and just be a player without needing to admin. I look forward to that very much so. I wonder, how are they doing it? Nerd War Room SFT. What do we got? Doombolt is banned. Thunder Tusk is limited to 1. Alright. Should be a fun one. Melee only Wood Elves time. Yo, it's gonna be so sick. Yo, Meaty Dangler, you've been crushing it. Yo, you're gonna... Yo, Meaty Dangler, if you win this tournament, that would be sick. Yeah, I just noticed you're one of the top 6. What's your faction? Wait, what's Meaty Dangler playing? Greenskins? With the greenskins? You're kidding me. Oh my gosh, why is Doombolt banned? I don't know, people don't like it. It's a very inconsistent Spirit Leech. I really don't think it needs to be banned though. Like it's something you play around just like anything else. Maybe I'll ask Turin about it. All right. Admitting. All right, we're good. We're caught up. Looks like these guys are ready. Sipa and Bagosh. I find it out. Danican should be facing his opponent. So, yeah, versus Lemur's Bane. And then we move on to the top four. So behold, Ogres versus Khorne. It's a classic Valkyria pick. Triple Wrathmonger. Turin's tournament in 5 hours. Is he hosting a tournament? Let me see. I thought, didn't he say he wasn't going to host a tournament today? He hosted a tournament yesterday, right? Yeah, I'm the only one hosting today. Or does he have a YouTube stream set up? I might play in it, but I might not stream it, you know. Gotta have some time to myself, you know. All right. You know, Meaty Dangler, you know Doombolt isn't banned in my tournaments, right? I think, you know, I think a lot of the time they opt for Lore of Shadows because Melkoth's is just insane. Yeah, that was yesterday's tournament. Which we did play in, and we did do well. I really needed that Slanesh win. It's okay, we're all a little bit blind. Don't worry, Stan. I don't know. Yeah, so it's very yeah. Wait. Yeah, why is this banner so red? Dude, Sipa's banner looks like it's straight up like vanilla Scarbrand banner color theme, right? I was so confused. I'm like, why does Khorne have ogres? Well, there you go. He has Scrag the Slaughterer, anti-infantry to kill Valkyria, very fun. Troll guts and extra ingredients, nothing too crazy. Why didn't they bring it? Dude, Meaty Dangler, Doombolt is not that good. If you compare it to Spirit Leech, it's like basically the same. When you consider how often it just misses. Okay, yeah, so we got some Chaos Warriors, we got some Bloodwake Berserkers, and that's it. That's it. It's just a Karnak and some Doggos. Sipa's getting a lot of work in early on with his crazy Powder Guts. So Powder Guts are a really fun unit. 160 range. They actually outrange most Dark Elf crossbows, and they can move and shoot. So while they march forwards, they just pepper away at all the units in the distance. Very, very strong unit, and very good if you want to kite Khorne. No magic damage, but full armor piercing's great. With another man-eater pistol and some lead belchers. Khorne essentially has to get a big rush in here. These guys got far too much range and far too much DPS to just tank. But it's already going pretty badly. As you can see, Khorne has 0 gold damage value. And the ogres have already gone about 1,200. And remember, the gold damage value tends to show a lower number than the true trading value. So things are pretty bad so far. Valkyria does go in to fight the Powder Guts. They do get a volley on the Furies as they retreat, though. That's really rough. The Furies will probably just crumble away immediately. See, Khorne's really going in for that big fight, but Wrathmonger's recently got a speed nerf. So they're going to have a hard time actually catching these guys. 42 speed to 40 means that they will not catch them if the Ogres just run properly. Powder Guts are brutal too. They are just killing Valkia because their stats are basically the same. And a full surround means that our melee defense is worth nothing. She's trying to disengage too. Man, Valkia! I guess they call her the Bloody for a reason. As now the Flash Hounds are dying, and this is looking real bad. Khorne and Hungry Khorne. I think Hungry Khorne's gonna win this, guys. Big Back Riders are just deleting everything. But the Powder Guts, no, the normal Man-Eaters, they do get caught up by Wrathmonger Regiment for now. That's really good. If they can keep up the pressure, it will work out quite well in the favor of Khorne. Flesh Hounds are going to be in the rear to potentially get some disruption off, but the Lead Belchers are just hammering these guys. Look at these guys. Reloading and just pummeling into those super expensive Wrathmongers. Right down the pipe into the blob. I've never seen a ranged unit fire so well before. Oh my goodness, there we go. Quarter HP left on them. Now also hitting the Chaos Warriors at the same time. And those Wrathmongers are essentially dead now, though they can definitely tussle for a while longer. The high leadership is good. Casual triple value lead is very nice. And Valkyrie is getting beat up by Scrag. Yeah, even though she does have bonus versus large, her low HP pool is definitely going to be suffering. There go the Wrathmongers, just jumping the Man-Eaters and the Lead Belchers. But they're just walking away, man. And the Flesh Hounds are going to crumble, so I don't think Ogres have to worry about that. Vultures get summoned in, which is interesting to me. Wonder what he has in store for them. And an Eshin Man-Eater too. Very interesting. I don't know if these guys will do much. He does get a pretty sick knockdown along with the Blood Vulture charge. Does it work though? Oh, I see. Weeping Blade melee defense reduction with the Blood Vultures. 25 armor, 0 melee defense. So weaker than Marauders. The classic wombo combo. Vulture, Eshin Man-Eater is hilarious. And they're racking up the kills. They get annihilated. Oh my, that's a funny combo. Oh, I love that so much. There you go. It is not an unknown combo, just a very uncommon one. So that just deletes those Chaos Warriors. And now the Man-Eaters can just kill the Bloodwake Berserkers. Scrag's gonna kill them with his anti-infantry. These guys have a lot of DPS, but against high DPS units, they go down pretty quickly. Boglars too, chipping on in with their poison range attacks. And Valkia does get routed. So if Ogres play this right, they're just going to escort Valkia off. And that's going to be totally game. That's just going to be... that's just going to be game. Bro, you try using a Night Goblin War Boss when there's a Doombolt caster? Well, like... no one expects you to bring a Night Goblin War Boss when Doombolt is rolling around. But you can just bring like an Arachnarok Spider. It's fine. It'll just tank it up. Anyways, Karnak is getting murdered by Scrag. Trying to do his best here. He has a little doggy whirlpool, I guess. I don't even know what that is. What even is that? What ability is doing that? I don't know. Is that just Endless Hunter? It just reveals them? Okay. I guess they're revealed. Oh man, poor Karnak though. Dude, Khorne's getting clobbered this day. Almost triple cap situation too, but not quite. Here's the thing though, right? Like Valkia is way too low to really participate anymore. And there's like, you know, there's no other big power players here. Even if all the range units get caught and killed, there's still enough just Ogre melee spam that can win the game. So it's gonna be pretty sus. Though Bagosh sticking with it. What are your thoughts on Valkia? I think she's fine, but she's never been like truly amazing. You know, her spear is pretty good though, sloppy spear. She's good at countercharging, but like Khorne also really lacks terror, and you kind of need terror against a faction like Ogre Kingdoms. Like, what are you gonna do? Bring a whole Bloodthirster, right? That's just not a good idea. Though she is kind of dumpster and Scrag. He hits. Will she stay? 6 leadership. 3 leadership. She gets hit again. And And she's gone. Got a lot of damage on Scrag, though. I'm rather surprised. As a Hail Mary play, it actually went pretty well. But that's going to be a win for the Ogre Kingdoms. So the first one to get knocked out is going to be Bagosh. Which means we see now, I believe it's, what was it? Danican versus Lemur's Bane. So if Danican wins, we can just move on as normal into the top 4. And then we'll get these. What was it? So yeah, Meaty Dangler and Winterwind made it. Oh, actually, you guys can just play right now. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Yo, are you guys playing right now, Meaty Dangler? Let's see here. Winterwind. Have you guys started your match yet? If not, I can spectate now. The untold horrors from beyond reality are no match for a big stick and some pistols. And some really big guys with pistols. Dude, the Man-Eaters are like the perfect corn kiting tool. Because they're fighty enough to kill Furies and they're fast enough to... they're like Skirmish Cavalry plus. Because usually Skirmish Cavalry get countered by Furies. Anyways, Meaty Dangler, you're up against Winterwind. Best of luck. We're going to be spectating your match. For one who doesn't know, Meaty Dangler is a... they are a long-time viewer. At least, not like... I don't know if like super long, but they've been around for quite some time. So, if they win here, that would be pretty sick. They are playing, I believe, Greenskins, which is insane. That is insane. Greenskins against Demons of Chaos is not impossible, though. Yeah, XL Skirmish Cav. Usually, I'm not a big fan of hybrid units. But in this particular case, Man-Eater pistols are real good. In fact, Man-Eater pistols, I think like the price premium you pay for them being hybrid isn't even that high. Because if you compare them to lead belchers, they do like very similar amounts of damage, right? And as a fighty unit, like if you just treat them as like a pure melee unit, they already get most of the work done, right? Like they are a very competent fighting unit for the price. Don't watch this game, bro. I never beat his Demons of Chaos. You'll be fine, man. You'll be fine. You've been crushing Dark Elves like no one's business, man. Just get them. Just pull up your bootstraps. You got this. Do it for Mork. Yeah, adaptive tactics. Yeah, doesn't adaptive tactics still give you like a hella melee buff? Pretty sure it does. Your ROR pistols also trade up against every melee unit. Yo, wait, do they always uptrade? The thing is, they die to cannons though, right? Danican, he's messaging me. He's not very excited about fighting ogres. So it seems like if the players were to place their bets on who would make it to the finals, it's probably going to be Demons of Chaos versus ogres. Unless Danican just feels like he can win, but still doesn't like fighting ogres. Yo, Meaty Dangler is going to crush it though, okay? Look, this is going to be the easiest fight ever for Meaty Dangler. There's no way. There's no way Meaty Dangler loses this, okay? He's Chad. Absolute Chad. You think it's plus 10 now? For the Man-Eaters, huh? It's just greenskins versus Demons of Chaos. So Demons of Chaos recently got buffed in that Pavane is no longer nerfed. I mean, it's no longer banned. And they have access to Seekers, who are also no longer banned. So compared to last patch, they just gained units. Greenskins, on the other hand, what was in the patch notes for greenskins? Greenskins, Gorabad, Iron Claw. One of his abilities went from 200 gold to 150 gold. Massive. Azag Skullmuncha is now 3,000 mass. Night Goblin Big Boss got a 75 gold reduction. Okay. And Snagla got a 50 gold cost reduction. Ruglets got nerfed though. Night Goblins got buffed. All the Night Goblins got slightly buffed. Pump Wagons got nerfed. Trolls are cheaper. Maybe he'll bring Trolls against the Demons of Chaos. What's the worst that can happen? Seekers just tear them apart. Mangler Squigs. Mangler Squigs got like the most mild buff ever. Okay. Feral Wyvern, minus 100. I'm sure it won't get rampaged by Blue Fire. But Arachnaroks got buffed. They don't stagger as much anymore. Maybe Arachnaroks kill Seekers. Maybe they kill Seekers. I really wonder what his build is going to be. He's going to get sniped into oblivion, though. What do you think about Chaos Dwarves in competition? How would you rank them? I would say Chaos Dwarves are like B tier. If we're talking like, let's say a Turin Grand Finals, I don't like Chaos Dwarves that much, but some people were running them. I don't think they're a really great counter pick, and I don't think they're a really good baseline faction. So usually in tournaments, the factions that you need to know to do well, like, you know, in a grand final situation, you need a good handful of factions that you can win bad matchups against. Because then you can just throw them out there and you don't have to worry about just getting hard countered. And then you need to learn the hard counter factions. So like, weirdly enough, even though dwarves might be pretty bad in an SFT situation, they are worth learning for the tournament situation to beat like Empire or whatnot. Chaos Dwarves are in a weird middle ground where they're like okay against everyone, but I don't think they're that amazing versus anyone either. Even greenskins are like really good versus ranged heavy factions because you can just run them down. But I don't think Chaos Dwarves are terrible though. A lot of people make them work. A little susceptible to rushing though. A lot of people go for double artillery and just get rushed into oblivion. Still really wondering, by the way, what Winterwind and the Meaty Dangler is gonna go for here. I feel like Meaty Dangler. I feel like he's gonna go for Mangler Squigs. like maybe the Mangler Squig buff was actually so huge and no one caught on to it yet. And they're just going to annihilate everything. That's my crazy prediction. If you guys have any crazy predictions, feel free to dish them out. Do you think he's gonna go for the newly buffed Night Goblin spam? I think, you know, maybe. Night Goblins got one more armor piercing, one less base damage. Oh wait, no, their base weapon damage went down, but their missile damage. Wait. Oh wait, no, they got one more. Okay, no, they got one more base missile damage, and they got one more armor piercing melee damage. Wow. All right, there you go. So if you're a Night Goblin archers, ever see melee? Oh, the shankening's gonna get him, man. I hope you guys are ready. I guess technically if you run normal Night Goblins or maybe Fanatics, I guess Fanatics are slightly better in melee now. Is any of this impactful? I don't think so. How about Coast? Vampire Coast, I would say, is pretty low tier. I think Vampire Coast is really good in an SFT setting, but they have too many hard counters. And they're not that great. They don't hard counter too many factions at all, really. Vampire counts are just like, if you want an undead faction, you know, Vampire counts are just better. Which is why we saw so many Vampire counts picks in the grand finals. Is Beastmen still a top tier faction? Absolutely. I would say Beastmen is like A- tier. They're very strong, but they, as far as I can tell, they really suffer to some of these Death Star builds. Some people just don't go for Death Star builds though, which is insane to me. Yeah, Coast has teeth, but like we're talking like the highest level. I'd probably put them in B-, or maybe at highest I give them a B. But I think at the super high level, which is what the question was asking about, I think they get brutalized by too many factions that are good right now. Worst faction and why? I would have said Grand Cathay before, but now I question with them Moonbirds. Charx did lose. He did drop out of the tournament trying to play High Elves. They have a 36% win rate. Kislev's at 37, which surprises me. I would say the worst faction right now. Honestly, Skaven have enough good counters. The worst faction, I would say, is Grand Cathay. So, or High Elves, you know, if Charx had made it to the finals here, I would have said Grand Cathay. You know what? I'm changing my mind to High Elves. Dude, High Elves, man. Man. Although, like, I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, they just don't really have a lot of armor piercing. So High Elves lose hard to any faction with heavy cavalry. And a lot of Chaos factions just got a buff to their Chaos Knight Lances. Also redeeming a stretch, thank you. Whew. Thank you very much. I've been sitting for 2 hours, 45 minutes. Stretching is important. If you're watching the stream, if you've been here since the beginning, make sure to stretch too. 37, Kislev means rejoice. But like, shouldn't the Frostworm build just cook? In my head, Kislev's an insane faction. Okay, nah. I think they're like B or B- also. But they do really well in a lot of cases. I refuse to stretch. I think Coast is dead last. Vampire Coast beats Grand Cathay. At least I'm pretty sure. Although I did beat Coast, but that was because my opponent took a very bad build into mine. Yo, some people do actually know how to micro them Coast units pretty well. Really good at getting into a proper gun line position. Man, yo, I'm so happy to know that the Dark Elves are probably not going to be ultra meta. Like, you usually see this when factions get buffed. There's a huge uptick of people being like, whoa, this is really good. And then the true test begins, right? Because either you have people figure out a way to tear them apart, right? Especially if they were weak before and people just weren't paying attention to them much. Oh my gosh, Be'lakor. Or they're actually just OP and they keep winning. Like Slanesh. But it seems like Dark Elves will stabilize to probably just be like an A- tier faction. Just joined where we kicked out of the tournament? Yeah. I lost to the Demons of Chaos player that we're spectating here. Winter Wind. Apparently, Dark Elves versus Demons of Chaos is really bad as a matchup, and I learned why. We learned why. It's because, unfortunately, Demons of Chaos can keep the Lord alive. It's super safe. And, yeah. Then they just kill everything with blues and pinks. And then they kill anything armored with Seekers. Oh, hell yeah, Noxbringer. So we're seeing Be'lakor. So generally, Be'lakor is regarded as a meme. Against Greenskins, though, he could be pretty funny. Leadership reduction removes ITP. Got the Lord of Torment, Malkoth's Pit of Shades. He's invincibility, Shadow Shroud, the Dark Master. Here's the thing about Be'lakor, though. He's so expensive that you basically don't have any other units, right? So, like, take a look at this. Usually, if you have an army with 8 units, you can field, like, a bunch of mid-tier cavalry, bunch of mid-tier infantry, or what have you. In this case, he has 1 Seeker and 1 Noxbringer. Those are the only units above 1,000 gold that he has. Everything else is basically bare bones. So if Be'lakor doesn't cook super hard here, it's going to be quite rough. On the Greenskin side, we see we do see a Night Goblin War Boss with the Tormentor Sword. Whoop. And he doesn't have a squig. He's just a little dude. Yeah, so this guy over here, he did get a price reduction. So he is relatively cheap. It's quite nice. Double Ragnarok? Oh my gosh, he actually is going double Ragnarok. Dude, if these guys cook. They are anti-large armor piercing, so they can fight Seekers maybe. This is never before seen. No Buna, Purple Sun. Is he gonna bait Seekers onto the Ragnarok so he can Purple Sun them? Interesting. Okay, we got some Rugloods. Some big guns. Dude, is this... I swear, if this wins, everyone is going to start spamming Ragnarok spiders, and then they're gonna get banned. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. So here comes the giant river troll hag. She doesn't really have many targets. Spirit leeching Be'lakor is gonna take forever. Spirit leech does 700 damage a pop. So even if you use all your winds of magic spirit leeching this guy, it's not gonna kill him. I feel like Purple Sun will be way more efficient. As it stands, this is a lot of infantry, a lot of Orc Boy spears, I guess, to fight the cavalry corps. Makes sense. It's not like there's anything too chonky as a front line here, just Plague Bearers. And Winter Wind, he's just posturing with Be'lakor. Now, Noxbringer is already starting to run out of ammo. It will chunk some damage off the Rugloods, but they're honestly doing rather fine. Here come the Orc Boys. Lots of HP and bronze shields mean that they don't really care about blues very much. But Furies do get summoned in. Coronate Furies. Very, very powerful against a low armor faction like the Greenskins. They got Frenzy. Insane melee attack and damage. They're going to be landing right on those Wolf Riders. If he does rout them off, that's a nice plus. But if he loses the Furies for them, it's losing 650 gold for only 300. We'll see how the Furies pan out. Maybe they also fight the Orc Boys. Double Ragnarok comes on in. And there's actually not that much I can deal with them outside of Be'lakor. So we're really going to have to see how this goes. Myther does drop too. Potentially a very large play over here. As the Orc Boys look like they're doing pretty well over there. I think the Furies did disintegrate. Wow, and the Wolf Riders come back. Huge loss, actually. But a massive charge does come down on the Orc Boys. Yes, the Seekers get rampaged. Orc Boys go down, but a Purple Sun drops. Oh my gosh, Purple Sun. Each tick, 1 tick per second, taking out about 15% HP on these super expensive units, and the Furies do crumble away. Seekers get down. They lose 75% of their HP. And for a unit of Orc Boys, that was incredibly worth it. Oh my gosh. One Seeker remains. The other one is on death's bed. And a summon comes in with big guns. Dude, is Meaty Dangler actually insane? The reincarnation of Falcon? Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. So Noxbringer's far and away. Not really doing that much so far. You can see his value is quite low at 600. Be'lakor still hasn't really been able to deal with the spiders, but Rugleds do get killed. We are seeing a Malkoth drop on the Big Gun Cavalry, and they will probably go down if a Cav Charge does drop, but looks like the Seekers get caught up in Orkbor's Spears instead. Very painful for them. Orkbor's Spears are kind of terrifying to fight against. They just got that whack load of damage. Furies do die. And another spell's getting dropped for, let's say, yeah, Pit of Shades. Okay. I'm like, no way Purple Sun's his own dudes. Pit of Shades, it does kill the Orc boys, but they're not that expensive. However, oh, big misplay. The other Orc boys come on in, and they also get dropped. So that's about, yeah, that's almost 1,000 gold loss. However, the Seekers are occupied. This point is captured. And overall, value trading is still in the favor of the Greenskins. And oh my gosh! The Rampage! The Rampage! The double spiders move on in. Be'lakor costs as much as the Shredder of Lustria. And he gets double bit! He gets double bit! Melee defense drops from that. And a Spirit Leech, now that he's low, it's definitely worth. Oh my gosh, Be'lakor. Dude, wait, are the spiders actually OP now? With the wad too? They're just chunking right through his defenses. Be'lakor got nothing on the double Ragnarok. Oh, ban them right now. I should stop maybe. People have their reasons to ban units, but anyways, yeah, Be'lakor is dead. Relentless Rage drops, but he's just gonna crumble away the second that goes away. And he is a dead man. The war is real. Oh my gosh, Relentless Rage has gone in 2, 1, and now everybody has a leadership debuff. Seekers are gonna be real sus now, and it's impossible to resummon Be'lakor. At this point, there's no way Be'lakor gets resummoned. Oh my gosh. Meaty Dangler with the sick build. It's like a mega snipey single entity build with like a touch of Mantide too. Gets a sick Purple Sun on the Hellforge host. Not as much damage though. And yeah, these guys just do not give a crap. I guess now that they don't stagger, they just always land their hits. Ragnarok spiders have 20 bonus versus large. And a whack load of melee attack. Value is insane. The loss of Be'lakor hurts. And all he really has to do is capture the points now. I think that's the only way Greenskins lose, is if they get stalled out here. But this is looking like a dominating victory for Meaty Dangler. The Anticity viewer, maybe he also watches turn. He probably also watches turn, but I want to take credit, okay? Let him have a little bit of pride. Yo, he said it couldn't be done. He said it couldn't be done. Jeez Louise. All right. Well, that's insane. Are we actually going to see an Ragnarok spider meta? There's no way. Dude, that was so sick. Also, Be'lakor sucks. Win a tourney with Be'lakor if you can. I'll put him on the list. I'll put him on the to-do list. I still have to do Wood Elves without...
Win a tourney with Be'lakor if you can.
Ranged.
Winking face emoji.
Oh my gosh. That's a fun challenge. That was a fun challenge. Yeah, I might try that immediately after melee only. Yo, Meaty Dangler though. Yo, are you back in chat? The was it down? He got the green in him. Holy crap. They straight up chevron your spider chevron mid-battle. That's insane. Turns out Orkbor's Spear is very terrifying. It's sickest Purple Suns. Absolutely amazing Purple Suns. And you got the Killer Instinct too. Oh my goodness, dude. So yeah, it's just a fat single entity annihilation. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, Meaty Dangler, you're on standby. You're on standby. You're gonna be facing the winner of Danican and Sipa. Oh boy. Dang. Yo, with greenskins no less? With greenskin double spider? Valkyria counters it by being small. They got dangled. Oh my gosh. I want VIP if I win. Alright, deal. Deal. Yo, you got a rematch against Danican or face Sipa though? Be careful with the overconfidence. Yo, how did you beat Scourge Rider Chariots with double spider? Is that what you did? I can't believe it. The dangerous dangler. Yo, he's cooking. Oh my gosh. Wait, how much do spiders cost? Let me see. 1,700. That's not too expensive. They're pretty fast too, by the way. 57 speed. 57 speed. They have poison. And a 120 armor. Baseline. Not to mention a little bit of ranged attacking too, which helps them out. They have some goblins on the top that just kind of pepper away. Fun. Very fun. Alright, we're waiting on Danican though. Oh man. %. Yeah, if you win this, you 100% get VIP. You know what? Any of my viewers, if you win a tournament on stream, I'll give you VIP if you can win on my stream. Valkyria loses in her trailer. Technically, she flies back up in the sky. Not even Tretch loses in his trailer. Oof. Let's see. Yo, I love her just getting surrounded by marauders though. It's just so sad. Rip Valkyria, man. Alright, so we're waiting on Danican and Sipa. Let's send them a message. They might not have actually started yet because of the confusion that I caused. But hey, maybe we get to watch another game. I'm really interested to see how far this double Arachnarok spider strat goes, by the way. I really wonder now. So it's 10k HP. Colossal squigs were so popular for so long. I forgot that Arachnarok spiders could cook. They used to be very popular. They used to be incredibly popular back in Warhammer 2. So it's quite the refreshing sight to see them back in it. Okay, yeah, so these guys will be playing their game on stream. Here we go. 10k HP, 120 armor. So like before, here's the problem before. They would just get staggered into oblivion. Looks like they're ready. It's gonna be Danican's Dark Elves versus Sipa's Ogres. I would like to learn how to play Dark Elves, so I'm keeping an eye on this. Like, my first thought is that Ogres annihilate Dark Elves with Lead Belchers and Man-Eaters, because I don't think the Scourge Rider Chariots can outrange the Ogre Core. And I think any matchup where Scourge Rider Chariots get outranged, I think any matchup where they get outranged is a bad one. So I'm a little wary. Oh, Charix bought double spider, and then what? Did they just get staggered into oblivion? Some people have been talking about how they stagger a lot. Yeah, okay, so this is entirely expected. So it's Scrag, Maneater, 2 Lead Belchers. Sepa, or not Sepa, Danican. Danican, he sometimes goes for the double Scourge Runner Chariot, opting for a High Beastmaster. And the one matchup where a Bolt Thrower is actually good is against Ogres to try and force him forward. So he has some potential there. Otherwise, it's just a whack load of infantry. Everything's pretty normal. Infantry can do quite well into Ogres too. Over yonder, we got some Ogre Bulls. We got some Powder Guts. Double Lead Belcher. Very shooty army we got here, right? The Fungi into the Seeker Snipe. Yep. Oh my gosh. Yo, I can't wait to see the finals now. What is this? Ogre Bulls. We got some Pigback Riders. Scrag is running just to heal, just to Troll Guts. He didn't bring a Thunder Tusk this time. No Thunder Tusk. I honestly feel like Thunder Tusk doesn't need to be banned. Even when I don't ban it, people don't really run it. It's honestly manageable. Except for like a handful of factions that suffer to it. You want to play Skaven? What are the worst matchups? Anyone with cavalry. They do best versus slow, heavily armored infantry factions that don't have a strong rush. Think Cathay and like Dark Elves. But they wanting to play Skaven's a rough time. Now, early skirmishing begins. He's just poking at Scrag, who is a pretty large target. But you can see the Powder Guts just have so much range, right? These guys are 160 range. Scourge Runners are 150. So Powder Guts actually outrange here. Danican's gonna have to play very careful to avoid that punishment. We got some birds in the distance, some Blood Vultures. They did get peppered by Dark Shards though. It looks like Sepa is just capturing a couple points. Doesn't go for this one though. He really should. If you're down trading, you want to get tickets. If you're down trading and not getting tickets, what is even life about? But no, okay. Maybe he just feels like he has to rush. He could be smelling blood in the water as another Bolt Thrower gets summoned in. Yeah, okay. I see what he's putting down. So Sepa's basically saying, this game is not going to come down to points. This game's going to end in 5 minutes. And either I come out on top or you come out on top. He goes to the fat rush, going into his opponent's backline with Blood Vultures distracting some Dark Riders, but overall not the prettiest trade ever. The Ogre Bulls, all units get leadership on the charge, so they will be able to stay in despite taking a rather large amount of deeps. And the Vultures are in. They're really good because they reinforce this position very quickly. The Powder Guts are very well in range with the Scourge Runner Chariots too, so they've been peppering them up along with the Lord. And he's going mostly for the cavalry, which is interesting. I guess he wants to just uptrade here. And it seems like the Vultures do route off one, maybe. Though these Vultures route, which does increase the leadership of these Dark Riders, as enemy routing is a +5 leadership buff. And the Ogre charge is starting to falter. Now, the Lead Belchers is still able to take out a lot of units. But I think Sepa might be regretting not capturing that 3rd point right now. We'll see, though. Things can go the way of the Ogres very quickly, especially if the Chariots get shoved into the trees. Blood Vultures are cooking. Dark Riders will probably be routing here, but the double loss of the Blood Vultures here is rough. However, Pigback Riders are in. Tormentor Sword drops, though, and the Chariots dive on in. They can't be knocked down, though. They just don't have the animations to be knocked down. So for whatever reason, 2 Noblars stacked on each other is the most stable thing in the known universe. And the Boglars are in. They are shooting at the Bolt Throwers, and if they get charged, they have their traps do some damage back to the Cold One Knights. Scrag, in the meantime, slightly out of position. And the back line gets saved by the Powder Guts. One of the Lead Belchers is running, though. The other one stands. However, I think this is mostly going to depend on whether or not these guys get routed off. Because without a lot of range, the Scourge Runners will have a field day. Traps have dropped. Along with... No, it's just Dismember. Okay. And the passive is down. And things are starting to look pretty bad, right? With the passive trigger and Scrag so low on HP, the ogres are really gonna have to make some big plays now. Because the chariots are more or less uncontested now unless the powder guts just really pop off. I do really like the troll guts on them. But ammunition is still very high here. And they're just plonking away, man. They're getting mega value. Over on the right-hand side, it looks like things are going not bad for the Ogre Kingdoms. Pigback Knights are still alive. But the left-hand side for the Ogres is so bad. And man, if these Man-Eaters die, it's over. They get completely wrecked by the Cold One Knight charge. The anti-large here just cooking with a massive charge bonus thanks to the murderous prowess and primal instincts. And yeah, they're just gonna get collapsed almost immediately. In the meantime, Scrag running for his life. And it seems like Sipa will probably be losing to Danican. Meaty Dangler, get ready. It appears we'll be ending with a Greenskin versus Dark Elf game. Very spooky indeed. The Blood Vultures, come on in. We're gonna be diving them Dark Shards. And it seems like the damage is middling. Let's see, Blood Vultures don't do that much damage. I'm not a big fan of them. So even with like a fat charge on the Dark Shards, right? Not even a big route. And boy, a lot of Blood Vultures have gone down this game. Like this one, I think was summoned twice. Only has 200 gold value. Costs like 500 a pop. Though I will say, Ogres can definitely capture a lot of points. I'm a little disappointed that he didn't capture this one here. I think he would have a much higher chance of winning if he captured this, as he would be at almost 800 victory tickets now. But it would have weakened his charge, I guess. Dark Elves are really starting to surge back now, though. And he does rally a couple lead belchers. The Regiment of Renown Man-Eaters are just gone, though, right? Oh, no, they are still alive. Okay, Powder Guts. Powder Guts with the sick ability. So they do have adaptive tactics, +10, +5. Does keep them around just a little bit longer, but they are routed again. Healing was not able to save them. And now the Dark Elves are starting to recapture. So yeah, okay. Looks like Sipa was correct then, right? It was do or die. Even if he did capture this point, it wouldn't have been enough to actually win this game. So I guess focusing on the trading was probably the better strat. Don't know if he had to rush in though, right? Once you get a triple cap, you could just pull back, but it's hard to say when you got bolt throwers just pile driving you. Big resurgence of the Dark Elves are in though. And that is a very expensive lead belcher to go down. Does this guy have, yeah, no bonus versus large outside of his missile attack. But chariot charge should still kill them. Lead belchers have notoriously low HP. So they're just getting mulched. And there's the capture. It's the Blood Vultures. Trying to kill Cold One Knights. Absolutely, they will not do well there. Not enough armor piercing damage. Though they can stop them from maneuvering around, which is nice. They are small targets too, so as a bogging down unit, it's not too bad. But if he subs them out for the Dark Riders, he'll be doing just fine. Ogre Bulls get a fat charge. Yeah, tickle vultures indeed. And yeah, Cold One Knights are doing great work into those Ogre Bulls. Very, very nice work. Although they are taking a lot of damage back. I think really the only way Ogre Kingdoms can win right now is if they get some sick play on this Beastmaster. Are these Pigback Riders? They are, okay. There's two Pigback Riders. He is almost surrounded. Oh, he's not going for the surround though. And it seems like the High Beastmaster just barely makes it out. Dang. You know, there was a non-zero chance with the slow. He could have bogged them down in the Pigback Riders. Killed them with Scrag. Get some terror in, rout off the Dark Elves, but not today. And now we have a caster over here. Fire, literally just for leadership hits and to rout off these Pigback Riders. Scrag is dueling the Beastmaster. Looks like Scrag will probably survive the end of this battle, but it's still gonna be very rough, right? It's a double cap situation now. I guess technically Ogre Kingdoms win on a single cap, so if they really stretch the Dark Elves thin, Like, okay, you know, here, maybe they do have a chance. If the Dark Elves make a big misplay with their Cold One Knights, if they lose a Cold One Knight for free to like Pigback Riders, there's a decent chance that Ogre Kingdoms pull it back. Burning Head might not be that effective if he can just avoid it with the Pigback Knights. But Tormentor Sword drops. Caster's waddling on in. If a Burning Head drops here, it's super over. He even moved them forwards to try and get more attacks on the Dark Riders. Like, they're begging. They're just begging to eat a Burning Head to the face. And that would definitely seal his fate. There's the Burning Head, but his units are out. Oh, the humanity. Oh my gosh. And they're gone. All right, well, pack it up, people. Get ready for the meaty dangler. You're the only thing that can stop Daniken now. That was like 900 gold. 900 gold in one cast. Oh my goodness. Yeah, now it's over. Now it's completely over. All right. He's using vultures like a 500 gold net. Yeah, without the Eshin Man-Eater. If he had the Eshin Man-Eater, they could probably kill Cold One Knights. But yeah. Whew. Should give Burning Head an FPS view so you can guide it. Just, man, just like manual fire artillery. Those were the good old days. Well, it's triple cap. Yeah, it's, Sipa is deciding to stay in. He thinks he can bring it back with this Lead Belcher summon. So, technically, if he can keep them safe and they shoot for the next couple years, he'll kill all the cav. I guess Beastmaster's pretty low. Scrag is doing not bad. Yeah, he can heal up to max here. These are just the semis, by the way. Grand finals coming up. Good slow. Dismember. Big volley. The unit penetration got nerfed on Lead Belchers. So they might be doing less damage to cavalry. Kind of hard to tell them. It looks like he's just playing for the trading game. So long ago, Sipa invested in victory tickets. And they are now cashing them in. Going to the bank to get a little bit of a value play. We know Dark Riders might just get deleted by the Lead Belchers, right? Yeah, they get deleted. Pigback Riders are good here too. And Pigback Riders on the Cold One Knights, but there's another Burning Head. And that's going to be an insta route on. Oh, it even curves in the right direction. What is this? Slash? No, I should not. I should let's not make that joke. Anyways, curves in the perfect direction. Gonna annihilate the Blood Vultures. I really am a Slaneshi worshipper, aren't I? And now he's gonna just bring in the Cold One Knights and just kill all these guys. He even gets a Tormentor Sword. And yeah, it's now it's even more over than it was previously. Unless these Saber-Tusk packs, even if these Saber-Tusk packs all become Bellicor, if it becomes a unit of 32 Bellicors, I'm pretty sure the Ogre Kingdoms still lose. I just don't really see there being enough damage here. Yes, he's gonna capture 1 point. Dark Elves are on their way to winning on a single cap now though. High Beastmaster. Maybe he gets debated. Sipa still feels like he can win it though. Here's the thing, if the player still thinks they can win, you gotta, it means you still think they can win, you know? It means that they feel like there's a possibility out there. This is pretty rough though. So, Saber-Tusk going down. Noblar gets summoned. The thing is, right, like, none of these units uptrade, really, right? None of these guys can uptrade to the extent that the ogres really need for this situation. Like, Scrag is still alive, I guess. But even the Dark Shards or the Repeater Crossbows are still in. And some more Blood Vultures. How many times have these guys gotten summoned in? They only just now got over 425 value. The Carrion Frenzy is not built up at all, man. These are... Truly, these are the Hellstriders at home. For those of you that don't know, these abilities on units, the intensity, it does stay on units. Miss with the Burning Head. It does stay built up when you resummon them. So technically, each time you resummon the Blood Vultures, they will become more and more effective. But that doesn't really matter if they're just not effective, right? That's the big issue. And there you go. Trying to kill Cold One Knights again. At 90 armor, they are being tickled. Countercharge on the Blood Vultures, kill them. Super Toss back. Looking pretty rough. And he taps out. Let's game. Let's game. Now, we move on to the grand finals. Dang, that master value was sick. Bolt thrower. Bolt throwers baited them forwards, at least. This one did get its value, so you know what? Let's not knock them too hard just yet. But yeah, the Cold One Knights just crushed it, right? Yeah, Cold One Knights got mega value. Even with the rush. It's always very risky rushing, I find. It's not that you can't pull it off, but yeah, it's very risky. All right, Meaty Dangler. Get in here. We just need Sipa out of here. And then we will be seeing if the Greenskins can beat the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves are benefiting heavily from a lot of buffs and the fact that they can bring Doombolt. Will it be used? I think Danican, if he knows that his opponent likes the Squig Lord, he has a way bigger reason to bring Doombolt. But it will hurt him quite a bit because he won't have anything for the Greenskin Cavalry, right? No Melkoths. So he really has to choose, right? Doombolt is, although powerful, very risky as a spell. Did I lower the win rate? I probably did. I think they were above 50%. Danican, though, he knows how to play Dark Elves. Would have really loved to see his strat against Demons of Chaos, though. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, a lot went wrong for the rush. No triple cap, so Dark Elves could take their time. And then kind of just getting mulched by Cold Ones. I like not starting with the caster too. Against Ogres, most magic isn't going to do super well. Kind of surprised we didn't see a Doombolter though. Like, we know Danican is not one to shy away from taking Doombolt. He will run it if he feels like he should. All right. Meaty Dangler, come on in. Yo, if Meaty Dangler wins this, that would be insane. I generally regard Greenskins to be pretty weak. I generally regard Danican on Dark Elves to be really good. My overall view of Dark Elves now is I feel like they're not as good as they've been doing. I think it's just Danican. I think it's just Danican, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just Danican crushing it. But Greenskins are probably good here, right? Greenskins have the cavalry trades. They're gonna have the chariots. Maybe a Ragnarok spiders. What if he goes for shades, though? You think we'll see shades? Danican does not like shades. If there's one thing I don't think he'll bring, it's gonna be that. Option 2, it's just you. Don't you dare, Decay. Don't you dare. I can't believe a #1 Crown viewer would even say such a thing. Okay, you know, I'm willing to say it's just Demons of Chaos, okay? Unless Danican beats Demons of Chaos. If he beats Demons of Chaos too, I got nothing. But last time he lost to Tzeentch, so yeah. All right, here we go. Come on, double Ragnarok Spider. Come on, big money, big money. Meaty Dangler gets VIP. That's the deal we made. If he wins this, he gets VIP on Twitch. If he loses this, we'll have to try and get another win. Another day. The last match of the day. This is an old matchup too, man. Yo, remember when Greenskins and Dark Elves were meta? Back in Warhammer 2, during the Scourge Runner Chariot era, along with Greenskin 6 Skirmishers. Those were the days. Banned for 12 hours if he loses. For the jokes, I don't want him to be banned though. Haven't been following Warhammer 3 much recently. Who else is doing well these days other than Dark Elves? I think let's check the total tavern stats. Let's see. I think Ogre Kingdoms is a very popular, strong faction. Chaos Demons seem to be getting a resurgence. Tzeentch is very strong. Vampire Counts is strong, but not in a Tzeentch meta. Slaanesh is still pretty strong. Dark Elves have been doing really well. I think Dark Elves are like the new fad right now. We don't know if they're actually going to be super strong in the long term, though. Wood Elves are generally really strong. Lizardmen is still TBD, but it looks like they are like low or like high B tier probably. And apparently Ragnarok Spiders make Greenskins S tier, but we will see. We will see. Oh, like also, yeah, Beastmen should still also be really good. But I think people are starting to figure out Beastmen. The problem, Beastmen are strong, but everyone has been playing against Beastmen for so long. They all have dedicated builds to tear them apart. So I think, unless you're a Beastman main, you'll probably get outbuilt in general. Yeah, Norska seems interesting though. Their skin wolves really do well against cavalry. The berserkers got buffed too. Hey, berserker buffs. Berserker buffs are pretty nice. Why is Norska so high? Just variants. There haven't really been enough games, and I believe Boss Toss was playing Norska. And Boss Toss has like a 70 whatever % win rate, so I think there's a good chance that he's just pushing it up. Similar to Danican, who plays almost exclusively Dark Elves, who is really launching the win rate higher. But despite that, they're only 55%, which tells me Dark Elves are probably weaker than Norska. But I think a lot of people are picking up Dark Elves because of the new fad. So it's a toss-up. They might be stronger, they might be weaker. We'll see. Interesting to see Warriors of Chaos at 59% though. I thought Warriors of Chaos was falling off since last patch, but I guess something changed. Haven't seen much Vampire Counts action either. I don't think Vampire Counts likes playing versus Dark Elves though. Though, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the Dark Elf Kite is just really good there. I don't know, we need Maximillionaire to chime in on that one. Yeah, not a lot of people play Beastmen. They only ever played Beastmen because they were strong. But as a faction, it doesn't seem like it calls to many people. I don't think we have like a fully fledged Beastman main that just loves playing Beastmen. It's pretty rough versus a good Dark Elf player. I imagine Scourge Runner Chariots can snipe all your healing tools. Either that or he goes for like an infantry range build, but I assume he uses Scourge Runners to snipe anything big and then he just runs over your bats and your infantry. I might be incorrect though. Why are Coast Spear Zombies more expensive than Empire Spearmen? Because they don't route. There's a lot of them, a lot of HP. But Empire Spearmen are probably the best infantry in the game for like what they are. Hand bows. Oh, just normal hand bows, huh? I guess the DPS on hand bows is really good. It's not like you need that much range versus vampire counts. Flying soul stealer casters. Huh. Interesting. Okay. You think you can cav rush them? Can you cav rush them with like flyers? I'm pretty sure if I remember my Warhammer 2 meta, Dark Elves can win the air game if they want to. All right, who's gonna win this? Neither player's locked in yet, which means they're both terrified. Definitely speaking from experience. You don't need to think this long on a build, but when the stakes are high, you really want to make sure you have all your bases covered. If you want to know who blinks first, it's the one that switches their faction to the other faction. So like if you see Danican switch to greenskins real quick, it means he's looking at the roster to see if he's missing anything. That's when you know they're being ultra careful, okay? That's the super duper careful. So far we haven't seen it yet though. Both players staying strong, careening towards each other. Slaanesh is still one of the best for domination. Slaanesh has fallen off enough where you have to be a big Slaanesh main for it to work. But yeah, I think Slaanesh, as it stands right now, they're really good in my head, but apparently to everyone else, they still don't really respect them. So that means I can actually be a de facto Slaanesh main now, which is great. Are you kidding me? Your brother and you have been thinking about getting into multiplayer. So you just play against each other for a bit and get used to PvP. If that's what gets you playing games, go for it. But honestly, on the ladder, your average high-level campaign player can fight against your average ladder player. At least your bottom-tier ladder players. The thing is, there's no matchmaking, so if you really don't like bad matchmaking, it's better to stick with like tournaments or just playing with friends or family. Interesting. Whoa. Okay. Lokir, Fellheart, Fire Sorceress versus Kite. Oh my gosh. All right. Now there is a Medusa. Medusa's gonna be hard to kill. But yeah, you know, it's just whatever you want, really. But you can get by just joining tournaments almost right away. My personal journey, I got to like a rather extreme win rate on the ladder first, and then I started looking at tournaments. Didn't even know that there was a tournament scene, and that helped me actually get some pretty early wins in the early tournament scene, because I was just way more practiced than your average new player. You know, there really is no downside to signing up for a tournament, though. I actually highly recommend it. The scene could always use more players, and every once in a while you get like some new blood that just really crushes it with a completely different style that no one knows about. It's great. What channels to watch this kind of content on YouTube? Tournament Warhammer stuff. I'm new to this. Oh yeah, Turin. Absolutely 100% Turin is the way to go. He casts regular games and does, whereas I go more into analytics and like details of the battle as a player. Turin is more of a caster than I am. Although if I keep losing, I'm gonna become an amazing caster. Now what do we got over here? Burning Head. Who would have guessed? Wowza. I can't believe it. Danican doesn't even know that the best spell in the game is Flaming Sword. Come on, it got buffed. It got buffed. Someone's calling me. Oh god, it's CA. Oh, sorry. It's CA. They're kicking me out. They're kicking me out of the content creator program. Okay, what do we got? More grubs. So, like, how is this game gonna play out? We got Lokir and he doesn't really have a lot of targets, right? I think Danican. This is he's scarred by the fact that Double Spider Wreckerino'd him, right? But Lokir loses to Skirmishers. Skirmishers get pushed back by Medusa. Medusa loses to archers at close range. Archers get pushed in by bleak swords if they can win the frontline fight. And it is mostly orc boys. So I think if Danican, like, he has some options, you know, at each range level, you have different advantages. I think the biggest play he can make, though, is with the Medusa. If the meaty dangler is not careful, the Medusa absolutely can mulch the infantry line and make a gap for the rest of his units to get in there. There's also not a lot to contest the dark shards. So at the close, barely not melee range, dark shards can go ham. Medusa comes on in, gets one volley off, kills 6 gobos, which is a nice initial start. Lokir just takes a little bit of damage. And overall, Danican is asserting his dominance at the mid-range fight. However, Meaty Dangler does get a double cap. Lokir's just chilling, menacingly. Does he have a healing item? Only in melee. So he can heal at 0.1 in melee, which is good. He also has a leadership debuff. And there's not a lot to really deal with him, right? You just have a Night Goblin War Boss with Fermented Fungi in spite of the Mad Moon. Even if he gets cavalry charged, Lokir is tanky enough to survive a good amount of time. And a Burning Head could potentially save him. But if he keeps taking Archer Fire here, that's not very pretty. Lokir is already down 1,000 HP. So that's 1,000 out of 8,500. That's not very pretty for your boy Lokir. However, the Medusa is getting the pain train onto these orc boys, and we are seeing a little bit of an awkward engagement for the greenskins. It's a choke point battle, which favors the dark elves, who do have all their range in position. You can see some beautiful remaneuvering here, getting all of his range units able to fire at the same time. Gets the Burning Head rebound. Burning Head is a very bouncy spell. You can bounce it off terrain, and that's going to be an instant rout on the forest god. Oh, on all of the skirmishers. Dang, it's a big play, but a scary situation, right? We do have 3 archers here, all targeting Lokir, and he is getting fungi. So fungi drops. Lokir is at quarter HP down. It does run out, and some snotling pump wagons get sacrificed for the greater good to disrupt the range units while Lokir gets focused. He gets slowed. The Mither is down. Mither's gonna last for another 8 seconds. Lokir is very slow right now, but he does count as in combat, so his melee defense is at 80. However, the cavalry charge does a lot. Spite of the bad moves on. But Lokir, now with the debuff wearing off, does manage to escape. And that's going to be a really bad situation for the greenskins. Value trading says it's even because Lokir took a lot of damage. But you got to remember that Burning Head just annihilated those skirmishers. I would not call it GG quite yet, but definitely it's a disadvantage for the greenskins. Squigs do come on in though. And that's a pretty nice Buna. That's a pretty nice Buna on some Cold One Nights. Lokir probably can't participate much in the battle either, though it looks like he wants to heal off of these pump wagons mayhaps. Another Burning Head drops. Barely whiffs though. Barely whiffs. The curve this time not helping out the Dark Elves. If it had landed here, the entire greenskin front line would be down. But as it stands, on both sides, archers are firing away. Night Goblin Big Boss is on the run. He did use his Squig summon though. But the Squigs are gone. New ones are in. And do the Dark Elves have cavalry to stop the Squiggies? So far, Dark Riders are being distracted by some Wolf Riders. That does open up an opportunity for the squigs to get in there. One dark shard does go down, and Lokir is looking really rough. He goes down to only 2,000 HP now. He is on death's bed as it stands. These archers are cooking, man. Dude, Ruglud's is not it's not a unit you joke around with, okay? Gets rampaged again, the fungi. Okay, but he goes towards the squigs. So the archers are not in range. They're going to be trying to move up, but he attacks. And a stroke of luck for Danican. The rampage, it does choose the closest target, so technically it's not 100% luck, but definitely a good situation for him, as now Lokir is healing mildly at 8 HP a tick. But the archers are in. Attack animation goes down, but it looks like he's not going to be dying just yet. And this is where things get a little sus, right? Not only is a burning head going down, but oh my god, that's a burning head. Holy crap. Can you believe people think Flaming Sword does more than this? Regardless, I'm never gonna stop talking about it. She really got buffed. Anyways, yeah, breath attack comes down, and wow, the breath attack route. Danican. Charx is really good at keeping his lord alive. Danican's reminding me of Charx with this super low HP Lokir. And that is what you call a distraction card effects. All these archers could have been helping the mainline fight this whole time, but Lokir, good old Lokir, was just distracting them. And who cares if he's a little injured, right? A little injured, he still has 500 armor piercing weapon damage, still has very good stats. Medusa is at full HP, as he's been tanking most of the hits. He does get slowed though, but is there anything that can take this beast out? This random Night Goblin War Boss, he's doing his best. Technically, it is still a double cap for the Greenskin, so if they can start up trading after the Dark Elf passive wears off, maybe? Corsairs get summoned in, but they'll take a while to actually participate in the battle, while Greenskins are summoning in cavalry. So if we're talking about just pure number of units in the main fight right now, the Meaty Dangler is not that far behind. However, a flub. Troll Hag gets murdered. No, a trade for the Spirit Leech on Lokir Fellheart. And remember, Spirit Leech does 700 damage. Last I checked, he had 800. He goes down to 80 HP. But the Hag dies. He has 17 leadership. 3 leadership. He's going to charge to replenish his leadership. He goes in combat. He heals. But he's on death's bed. Gets hit. If he dies here, that would be really bad for the Dark Elves. They don't want to get that Lord Loss penalty, but he triggers his ability. 27 HP. Holy crap. Oh, and he dies. The right click gets him with the Spite of the Bad Moon. Oh my gosh. Lokir did not respect the River Troll Hag. She sacrifices herself. The Queen Sacrifice. I've been watching a lot of chess. The Queen Sacrifice goes down. But in this game, you can live without your king. And remember, we do still have 4 Dark Shards alive. They're pummeling. They want revenge. Vengeance for Lokir. The Night Goblin War Boss gets knocked into the floor. But he's still alive. Leadership's not looking too good, though. If he routes in the wrong direction, it's over. If he routes this way, totally over. His leadership is low. -1. Routes in the right direction. He will be out of range of these Dark Shards, so he won't be dying. But the Greenskins are real low on units now. However, it's going to be 700 tickets. Okay, Greenskins do not win on a single point. So they're gonna have to uptrade. The archers are in disarray, and I believe the Sorceress of Fire still has Winds of Magic. This is still looking very bad for the Greenskins, as they were unable to defeat the Dark Shards. Almost completely using up all of their ammunition. This one has 1800 value. This one has 750. Remember, each one here, as they are shielded, costs 600 gold. 1000 value on this Dark Shard, 750 on this one. They have paid for themselves and then some. But there's time. There's time. As long as he doesn't lose this point, Meaty Dangler has like a solid 5 minutes to take a breather, amass his forces, and to win a fight against the infantry. Lokir was very decked out too. It's unlikely that we'll see a resummon unless Danican really goes for it. But Lokir costs like what? At least 2,000, at least 2,100. I'm pretty sure he costs more. I think he's in the 2,500 range. So if the Meaty Dangler goes for it now, if he goes for a fight, the actual army deficit is not that bad. You can see he has 2 units of cavalry, 2 orc boys, and another goblin wolf rider against 1 cold one knight. Yes, the Medusa causes terror, and that's going to be the big bad here. But there's not that much. It only takes 1 good charge to kill all of these infantry units, but he has to get a perfect engagement. And as it stands, his lord is almost routed again. Dancing around with his lord, and for what? Trying to dodge some bullets. Lokir gets summoned at about 2,300-ish, 200-ish gold. He's back, baby. Right as the greenskins pull the trigger. They gotta win the fight before Lokir gets in here, because he's just an uptrade beast right now. Nothing can kill him. All the archers are dead. And he makes it to the fight. The promotion. He promoted a pawn to a king somehow. His chess analogies no longer make sense. And all he has to say for it is summoning in a single Night Goblin Big Boss. Now, I'm pretty sure, technically, anything is possible, okay? Anything is possible. If Danican gets extremely unlucky, Lokir will not be able to land a single hit on this Night Goblin Big Boss. He will land every single hit. And in a matter of about 5 minutes, he will eventually kill Lokir if we ignore the fact that he heals. Unfortunately for the Meaty Dangler, though, it doesn't seem like that'll be the case, as the big guns now are the only unit left. Lord is shattered, and that's gonna be game. Very tense, very tense. I think had he been able to kill Lokir a bit earlier, Meaty Dangler could have gone a lot of work in. The map was definitely used better on the side of Danican. He baited the Dangler into the choke point, and he just posted up here, right? Did a whole 300. And where the numbers meant nothing, the Burning Head was able to kill all of the archers. And it looks like that's going to be it. GG! As the game crashes. As the game crashes for someone. I'm pretty sure we don't need to replay this. Something about this position makes me feel like this game does not need to be replayed. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of crashes recently. I don't know what's going on, but for whatever reason, the game just seems slightly less stable. I don't know. I don't know, man. But there you go. Danican drops out. Anyways, we'll call it for now. That's gonna be game. Well played to both players. Meaty Dangler. We'll call it a draw. Meaty Dangler, you did good. You made it further than me. I honestly wonder if the double Arachnarok would have won there, but with that many Dark Shards, probably not. If you try to kill Lokir, you gotta get the job done without losing too much. But yeah, anyways, well, I guess yeah, just float away. GG. Well played. I'm gonna work on some editing. I had a great time, people. We're just gonna go ahead and ascend into the stratosphere. Oh man, I love debug camera. It was great. Bye bye. It was nice playing. It's nice spectating. Well played to Danican. I think there's nothing else I have to cover, right? Oh crap, yeah, raiding. Is anyone worth raiding? Who's streaming right now? You just joined? RIP. Yo, who are we raiding? Raid channel. Let's see. Anyone I know? Anyone? No one. Not a single one. What a ripoff. Alright, well, we're just ending it then. See ya. Bye-bye. Tomorrow we're doing Wood Elves melee only. Tune in for that. It'll be great. It's gonna be Wild Riders into the horizon.